What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Tuesday. I'm Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen.
Shana Tova to all the members of the tribe out there. That's the Happy New Year.
I always like that. David is always doing this before it comes on, and I just want to delay it now just to see how long you'll go.
I was going for a while, to be honest. All right, here's what we're talking about. You can see the things up here. Mm-hmm. Mortal Kombat 11's come out with a bunch of new variations, which basically means 20 new characters, more or less.
Dude, anyways, we'll get to it.
We'll get into it, whatever the number is. CEOtaku Fighting Fest, other tournament results, also Jasmine's. We'll talk about the.
Did you say Jasmine?
Esports awards.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about some 5-5 matchup stuff. A couple of interesting topics in there, and then there's other FGC news to get to as well. Yes, I definitely said it's Jasmine.
Yes, and it's a beautiful cat.
It is. She's a very pretty little cat, very shiny. Hello. So let's begin by talking about Mortal Kombat 11. Yesterday, they put out the new patch, which is mostly not for changing the characters.
Right.
There are some definite character things that got changed, but
So
for the
there
most
was
part, that's
some
not.
balance changes in there.
There
as well?
are
Okay,
some, yeah.
I missed those. I haven't looked at those yet.
And what it was mostly about was changing or adding one variation per character. So there were
Right.
2 previously for competitive play. Now there are 3 for each character.
I mean, here, it's interesting because a lot of the games are doing this, right? Like Tekken had this big old Season 3 change, and now here we're adding a 3rd tournament variation in the middle of the season.
Yes.
How do the players feel about this?
This is a good question. So ECT is on the tour, and that is in what? 2-3 weeks? 2.5 weeks? Something like that, very soon. And these will be legal for that because it's a 2-week ban on these, which means that they'll be legal just in time for ECT. Yeah, that's a lot to learn. That's a lot to learn fast.
I mean, you're saying 20 new characters. I mean, the thing about it is let's say Collector's Tournament Variation 3 is decent, right? Okay, maybe that's not a good example.
But point made.
Yeah, but okay, not character, not maybe top tier.
Yeah.
But good enough to be what the hell is happening
what does
here,
it do?
right?
What does it do? Yeah.
To blow people up for one tournament and get you a bunch of points, right?
It's a good point, right? I mean, you only have a couple of weeks to try stuff out. Previously, when a new character comes out, fight a new rival. You had 4 weeks after the character became playable for everybody where it was banned, and 5 weeks for people who had the access to the combat pack, which is an extra week earlier. That's a long time for one character.
Yeah.
And now it's 2.5 weeks for all of these new variations, so it is definitely a lot to learn pretty fast. Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm surprised that they were willing to do this, and it's kind of late. Right, because the championships. When is the championship?
Actually, not until March, I think.
Oh, really? Okay,
so it is a while.
Okay,
it is a while.
It's not the same timeline as Tekken or Street Fighter, which is end of the year kind of thing.
Is Tekken still end of the year? I thought that's now.
Did they?
Maybe I'm thinking of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball's the next year.
Dragon Ball.
A few of them now are 2019 to 20, right? They're sports seasons.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, it is definitely quite a bit to learn. The thing that mitigates that is that there are probably only a few that you'll actually see.
Okay.
To be honest.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
So you've messed with enough of them, right? So,
Yeah.
Okay,
I've messed with all of them at least a little bit. At least a minute to see what it does.
But clearly, right now, it feels like the winner is Johnny.
Who do we got? Johnny
Cage. There
Kage.
you go. Kage. And it's funny too because when we all played the betas and we had the options of trying everything, very early on, and then they introduced the tournament variations. Well, no, actually, when the game came out, they had the tournament. I think I was just looking at some of the other options.
Probably, yeah.
And right away, the first thing in my mind was, why wouldn't they have given Johnny Cage the arc fireballs?
Right.
Those look like clearly the best thing that he has. They gave him a straight fireball, and they didn't give him that. And then they gave it to him, and now I was just like, they gave him the mid fireballs.
The mid fireball.
So he can zone from a screen away. He has a bunch of plus stuff close up, and now you can't run away from him because he's just going to chuck fireballs at you all day.
Exactly right. Yeah. He has become the best zoner, maybe? I don't know. It's hard to really call him that, but I mean, yeah, he's throwing these balls out there. He's tossing them. He's tossing the balls everywhere. They're super fast. They move. They come out fast. They move fast. At range, they cover a lot. Like a very nice arc, right? So it's this arc where you can duck under it during the middle of the screen. But if you try to jump or try to wave dash or whatever, you're gonna get hit.
Right.
And he could throw 2 of them, right? And you can pick whether to do the lower arc, higher arc, or higher arc, lower arc.
Oh, you could do. Oh, there's 2 variations of the amplify.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was like high, mid, and then low, high. But I guess there's high, low.
You can pick them.
Can you do low, low?
You can do 2 lows.
Dang. Okay, but I tested low, high.
Okay.
And that was still minus on block. They're all minus 15 on block. So it's not like the other meter burn where it keeps them safe, right?
However, he does have this dragon punch, which is Cassie Cage's up kick, then fall from before.
If you meter burn it.
So that move was nerfed so that there was a gap in between, so you can now always flawless block a second hit.
Okay.
But you can't do that for Johnny's.
Yeah.
It's
so fast.
It's exactly how the previous Cassie Cage one was. They just gave it to Johnny. So
and it's minus 4 on block or something like that. Yeah. It's totally safe. Yeah. Yeah,
he seems really good.
He might be tweaked a little bit.
He was already good. Right. Nobody thought Johnny sucked. Some people were like, this character's really strong, heads up. That was already happening. So, yeah, he seems really good.
Yeah. It's funny because I really feel like what they're doing in this patch, at least for a lot of the characters that I checked out, 3 of the characters that I checked out, it seems like they're trying to open up zoning now.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Now, I said, that it was only 3 of the characters that I checked. I've only checked 5 or 6 characters, the ones that I really wanted to look out for, right? Okay. So Kung Lao has these weird kind of pseudo zoning stuff.
Yes.
Which I'll get into more details later, but I think they're bad. Anyways, secondly, even Noob Saibot has kind of a weird zonery kind of thing. Yeah. And now here Johnny Cage is just fireballs, and I'm surprised.
Those are good. You got Nightwolf with his mid arrow, which knocks down on hit and does 90 damage and moves super fast across the screen.
Okay.
You have Kano with his mid laser, which is also they did. So they definitely.
That was like the dagger he had before, right?
Yeah, man, it's the mid dagger. Yeah, it's a laser now. So that stuff is all good for zoning. Even Cetrion, who I don't know if her new variation is going to be competitively viable, but at least it gives her this wind projectile that has huge pushback on block.
Interesting.
And that if you meter burn it, it's the entire height of the screen, so they can't jump over it or anything.
Nice.
And she has the buffs. She has random buffs. One of which is a huge tornado that stays in the center of the screen. And you cannot jump into it. It prevents your character from jumping into it. You can walk through it, but very slowly.
And that's the new variation.
That's the new variation. So even for her, who was already a good zoner, they're like, "Oops, what if she had this huge win?"
Yeah, it's almost like they were like, you know what? Everyone cries about the zoning all the time. Let's let everybody learn the offense now.
Yeah.
Let's add the zoning in a little bit later, so now people know the offense, so it won't see. If this
I think
If this was their plan. Genius.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. And that was my thought too in seeing these new things that characters have that are about more mid-range control. I think you're right. I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah, because Noob Saibot has that new thing that just he launches a sickle up in the air and it comes down and attacks. What the weird part is, the thing that bothers me the most about that move now is that it has blown apart all of my math and it is driving me nuts.
Oh, okay.
Because it has a startup of 35.
Yeah.
And then if you do 1-1-3, I think it is, where he goes punch, punch, kick, right? That's 36 on cancel.
Okay.
It doesn't combo. And it drives me nuts.
This is Mortal Kombat, man. Sometimes things just don't
36
combo.
on cancel, 35 startup, it doesn't combo.
Sometimes things just don't work. They're just coded not to. I mean, you know.
I was so mad.
That's how the game is.
I was like, what the hell, dude? But overall, what's actually interesting about that variation that's really good is the up-sickle, I think.
The anti-air sickle thing?
The up-sickle. Yeah, that's what I'm
going to call it.
The up-sickle.
I like it.
The up-sickle, because the nice thing is he has the 1-2-1 string, which is safe on block, And now, very easy to hit confirm into this thing that gives you a beefy chunk of damage. So, I don't know. I think he probably could hit confirm it before into the teleport dash, right? But, I don't know. It seems really kind of nice to me. But, I don't know how good the sickle zoning is going to be. And you can meter burn it to get a launch.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing is that you usually when you hit them, they're so far away, there's nothing you can do about the launch.
I hear you.
Right? Not only that, but I tested the combo in the corner.
Okay.
If you put the enemy in the corner and you are in the corner and you do 1-1-2-1 launch, 2-1-2 launch into the sickle thing, even while holding back, the closest one goes past them.
That was, yeah.
It doesn't work in the corner.
I didn't try this combo, but I did notice that if you're point blank, then you can't do the
so it just doesn't work
yeah.
in the corner. So you just don't get that launch. So I don't even know what the meter burn is for. Just to catch them off guard if they're like blocked the first one. They're like, now I'm going to rush in, and then you get hit by the second part. So
I don't really know. I also think that there are... So, okay, I guess while we're talking about it, I do think some of the variations are weird. Not strange choices, I guess. Not choices that seem like they would make people switch away from the current variations. Now, I think that's not necessarily bad because some of the current variations are good and fun. So, you don't need to make people switch, right? But it's nice to offer them the extra option, which I think is like what the variation's about. But I think for quite a few of the characters, I think that the new variations are not the go-tos, or maybe are the worst of the three even. And that's not everybody, but I do think there's quite a few that are like that.
And they could also just be doing the thing again where they're adding the variations, edging towards the side of caution.
Yes, I'm sure that is what they're
doing. Right?
Yeah.
So they're just trying not to make sure they're not super broken so that everybody's like, what the hell? The whole game got turned on its head, kind of thing, right? Yeah. I mean, for example, let's talk about Kung Lao, right?
Kung Lao.
He has this new Pope stance where he can just throw things out now. So he's got the
Great Kung Lao.
The upper. He's got one where it hits up, and if it hits you, it goes launches you into the sky.
You got to juggle.
Right. He's got the fireball that goes full screen now, and then he's got these ones that have low that hit low, and he can choose 4 distances. Right.
From the deep.
The problem with it is that nothing is mid. So. Like, you just crouch block the whole thing. I don't get it. Like, the fireball's not a mid, the little puff ball's not a mid.
The lows are lows, right? So you do have to block those at least. Right. You can't just duck those.
Right. But they are minus. So even from a screen away, they're minus like 18 or something like that.
That's to be expected, I think.
So you kind of lose that situation right there.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is just the spin is weird.
Okay.
He jumps in the air and does this quick thing, and it's more like Katana now, where it floats the guy in the air.
Okay.
And then they fall. The thing about it is, it doesn't float them in the air long enough for you to do like a jump combo. Like, even if you do jump 2, you can't land and juggle with it.
Okay.
It's such a slow startup that it doesn't combo off of barely anything with juggles.
Okay.
So in other words, if you hit him with it once, he doesn't get a juggle. So basically, once you start juggling people, he doesn't have a good special move that hits fast enough. You know how like a lot of characters have that really fast special move to cancel into that gives you that juggle ender once the gravity kicks in. He doesn't have one that does that. Like, Hat is the best one, and like...
What about Great Kung Lao stance into Ba Ba Ba?
It's too slow.
Oh, really? Okay.
Half the time it's too slow. But Ba 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 is interesting, although the biggest problem with that, so with him and Kung Lao and Liu Kang, I tested their stance cancel, and they don't give him any they don't get him free combos. I couldn't.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah.
I couldn't do any Sonya stance cancel, fireball dash up combo stuff. I couldn't get that. However, there was only like one string in particular where Kung Lao, the forward 2, where he does the hat swipe, that if you cancel it, he becomes safe. Whereas before he was negative.
I see.
So it's the only. So now you can fish with this and just cancel it.
But you have to cancel stance, so defensive bar loss.
Yeah, defensive bar loss, and there's no hit confirming on it. So if you're doing it, you're just doing it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, but outside of that, I don't see the point of this Kung Lao. Although in the corner he does have like a 300 damage meterless combo.
Okay.
Which is kind of good, but outside of that, like. I don't know. He seems weird to me.
Huh. Well, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I've heard other people who are into Kung Lao have similar complaints. I only briefly looked into him, but I didn't know the character super well. Okay. For Baraka, I like the mix-ups on the new variation. So he gets low stab, which is a low, and it's a restand.
the knee thing, right? The where he stabs you in the knee or something like that.
Stabs your leg, leg kebab.
Yeah.
And it's a restand. It was plus 19, but now it's plus 5. So, I mean, I didn't expect plus 19 to stay, to be clear. It would have been pretty wild. But plus 5, it leaves you mid-screen and plus 5. So, you know, you have a slight advantage, but it's not enough to, like, guarantee pressure. Mm-hmm. Even in the corner, it's not enough to get to jail into a high. So, you know, yeah, it's a situation, maybe not super great, but I like that. I also like that he has a Berserker Barrage.
Oh, he has a Berserker Barrage now?
4 hits.
Nice. Okay.
And there is a mix-up in it. So, and it's a mix-up that I think is smart to have timed to come out now. Like, not on launch, okay? Right. Because I think it takes more understanding of the game. So, it's based around follow blocking. If you do amplified version, he goes hit, delay, then hit, and it's safe. It's safe on block, okay? It's false blockable though, right? So there's a gap there. Mm-hmm. And if the opponent thinks that they're supposed to false block, then you just let the regular unamplified version go, and then that will hit them faster, so they'll get hit when they're letting go of block before false block. Mm-hmm. But it's unsafe on block. Right. That's so I like this. Like, it makes total sense, right? I like that. I think that makes sense. And it's cool too because this move and the other move that he gets, which is Blade Charge, so like a very fast moving mid-hitting hit. It's unsafe, but it's the same kind of mix-up where Baraka has strings that are flawless blockable, including his overheads. So if you're going to do this overhead or low game, you need to make sure that you have, like, you take care of those flawless block gaps. Well, these specials both take care of that because they're a little faster on startup than the normals that end those strings, right? So all these things are, like, based around the flawless block mix-up, and that wouldn't have mattered at all when the game came out, I think. But now, I think it matters more.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to keep playing the command grab variation. But for other people, I think that it seems cool.
Okay. Dude, so this is actually kind of funny here. So I messed with Scorpion's new variation. Okay. Right? And Misery Blade in the beta didn't have the meter burn overhead and the meter burn low option, did it?
I don't remember either.
Because I've never used them. Because, like, I swear if they were in there before... But this tells you how often how much I played that stupid beta. Okay. I went to this variation. I picked the variation. I saw Misery Blade, and I'm like, okay, there's an amplify on this. Yeah. So I tested it, and he has a high version and a low version. So now I can Misery Blade stance, but it throws out 2 Scorpions, one that does the overhead, one's low, but only one of them is real. Yeah. So it's a true 50-50 mix-up, both punishable on block, right? And I was like, and I looked through his move list, and I was like, but all he has is teleport, air teleport, the spear, and this. And Misery Blade, the only thing they gave him was the new amplification on this. That's the whole gimmick of this variation. It's like they didn't add anything new to this variation at all. I completely forgot Misery Blade wasn't in any of the tournament variations. Oh. I completely forgot. Okay. I was just sitting there. I was like, they didn't do it. This is the most useless variation ever. Funny. Like, why would they do this? And then I was like, wait. The other 2 tournament variations don't have Misery Blade. Yeah. That's right. Misery Blade. That is how often I used freaking Misery Blade in the beta, that it was so natural to me that I completely forgot it didn't exist.
I haven't played Scorpion since then either. Yeah. A little bit at the start. Yeah. He also has MKX neutral jump punch.
Wait, what?
Yeah, in that variation.
Wait, they changed?
He has jump down too.
Oh, really?
Which causes a ground bounce, yep.
Whoa! I didn't even see that because I thought I went through all the normals to see if they had that.
It's got that one.
That's so weird. Yeah. That's random.
That variation, if I were a Scorpion, I'd probably stick with Reborn. I think that's the one to play. But
wait, Reborn is
Reborn's the teleport cancel.
Right. Yeah, that's the best one currently.
That's my view, but other people like Searing Rage, and I know I've talked with some people too who think that this is the one that they're very excited for because they want to have. I mean, the overhead low part of it is whatever. I mean, you can make a big bet, right? But they're unsafe. But it's the cancel into little butt.
Yeah, and that thing is a true block string too, from what I can tell by the numbers that they've displayed in the game, which clearly aren't always true.
I mean, it's not for like down 1 into it, but it is from back 1. I think it is.
Back 1-4 into it. If the numbers all are telling the truth, then it's a true block string, and there's nothing you can do about it, which leaves you at -4, which is really nice because then you could just fish all day with that. But then you're losing your combo damage, etc.,
Right.
So it's
yeah,
all
the
it's
mobility,
all that
like yeah.
But it gives him
You know.
the rushdown ability.
Yeah, if you'd rather play this more up close Scorpion, then I think he's the one for you.
Right.
So you know, that's fine. I think that's cool. Cassie Cage didn't get a new variation.
Wait. Is it that bad?
I don't know. She has. Remember in Injustice, Cyborg had the like grapple hook that like made him go diagonally far away.
Zippy around. Yeah.
She has that.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean she has a shadow kick, which is I don't know what you do with it really.
Oh, she got a special move, shadow kick now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what people think about that.
Yeah.
I mentioned the Cetrion one. It's 4 separate buffs that happen randomly, and it costs all of your defensive meter to try that out.
Oh, interesting.
So one of them causes this big wind that I was talking about.
Right,
Another one is a circle of flame, and the opponent takes damage over time when they're in it. Another one is a circle that has boulders in it, and whenever you get hit, the boulders hit the opponent.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And another one...
That's so weird.
The last one is water, and if you get hit, you can block the next hit, even if it's supposed to be a combo.
It's Aquaman.
But even more than that, because it's even on grounded hits.
Oh, okay,
so Aquaman's was for juggles. This is anything.
Right.
So it's just a complete, don't worry about getting comboed situation.
Now, does this mean she's banned from tournaments?
Because of the randomness?
Because of
yeah,
RNG?
maybe we'll have to ask what the French Smash Ultimate players think.
Just making sure, that she's like not banned or something like that.
I don't know how good this is, but I'm going to try it out for a while at least.
Okay.
See how it goes. I'm super scared of Devora's new one.
Oh, really?
Legit.
Okay.
She has a low bug that crawls along, and she gets flight, and out of flight she can do overheads, because they're jump attacks, right? And also out of the air she can cancel into down back 4 in the sky, which is 2 more overheads. Or she could just land and then do her low string, or she could land and then do this same special move on the ground, which is also an overhead. So this bug's coming at you. And even if she gets hit, the bug still keeps going and hits you.
So they turned her into Birdie plus Fang. Fang with the little float and a soda can crawling along the screen.
I guess. Except it's like real overhead low mix-ups constantly.
Okay.
Super real overhead low mix-ups. And yeah, the overhead is unsafe, okay? But there is also a crushing blow if you hit the opponent with it twice in a row. I think that variation is scary.
Okay, so some people should be happy then.
Scary.
I mean, Waz is in the chat. He says Jade doesn't have a new variation.
Oh yeah, that's too bad. I heard from other people that it's good, but I'm not into Jade.
I mess with Liu Kang a little bit. He's kind of interesting. He gained a command grab and some stances and stuff. So the command grab, it's only a high grab though, like the other ones.
They most are, right? Yeah.
But the stances are. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's. It seems like no future for that stance.
Oh, yeah?
For that thing. He also has a teleport.
Yes.
But it's in place.
It's up next to the opponent.
Oh, does it always go next to them?
So if you're like far away, then you always go right next to them.
Oh, okay. I must have only been testing it next to them, and I just didn't realize it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It didn't seem like.
I think it's good for a character with maybe the best stagger pressure in the game to also have a command grab.
Right.
That seems good to me.
That's the question: is how well is it going to function as a? Because the nice thing about it is he can stance cancel into his stance, and from his stance he can cancel into the command grab. So if you're just getting people unsuspecting, you can do boom, boom, cancel, and they stand up, and then you grab them out of nowhere. He does have an overhead option off of the stance, but it's also unsafe.
Overhead and lower are both unsafe.
Yeah, they're both unsafe. So I don't know. Yeah,
that's true. Paco Stevens, low bug cost meter. That's true. To have it on the screen cost meter, right? So you're not doing it constantly.
Okay.
But if you don't do that, then the little bug comes out and it's a low at the start, and then he like jumps into the air and it's a mid.
Okay.
It's like this kind of weird startup. So I haven't found it. I didn't look, but I'm sure that there are setups where it's like knockdown, bug comes out.
Right.
The bug is a meaty, right? Now you have an overhead low throw mix up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that's good because Devora, it'd be nice for her to be kind of added to the game, right?
Man, some people think that she was already super good. So
that's right, because Sonic Fox was thinking she was super good, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I haven't tested Aaron Black or Frost, but I heard that Frost got some help. That's cool. Gearus is super cool. He's got the rewind time.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's got the statues out there, which I think are really good for
They
mobility.
didn't give him the
and pressure
timer scam stuff.
all sorts of stuff. Nah, it'd be too wild. That stuff's cheap, man.
Dude, I'm still sad.
That's cheap.
I'm still sad that Johnny.
I think that's a very good variation, though.
I'm still sad that Johnny's never gotten stunt double in anything.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Because stunt double just makes me laugh. That's all.
I really think that Gearus variation is super strong, so I'm gonna go and play it. It has the command grab and everything. Jackie Briggs gets a jump. She gets a command jump like Cheetah, like Hellboy, and she gets an air move out of it that lets her cancel the momentum, so she falls and continues a combo. So you can do like button, cancel into jump, out of the jump, continue combo on the ground.
That
like,
sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, totally. I was gonna say you should give her a look because there's gonna be a lot of funky execution stuff with her, and I've already seen like 300 plus damage with her.
Okay. Nice.
That seems cool. I don't know. I guess Jade doesn't have one.
According to Waz, anyway. Yeah.
It seems more like a rushdown Jade is what it seems like to me.
Okay.
I think Jax seems really good. He's got the string that powers up his hands really, really fast.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a bunch. It's like 5 or 6 hits.
Right.
And there's a mix up on the end of it, which is cool. He's got the pop up ground pound, which is nice. We talked about Cage. What up, lady? Cabal now does like a ton of damage on his.
Oh, wonderful.
He does. It's not just that he's safe now. He does a ton of damage.
Oh, wonderful.
And also he gets Gas Blast. But Gas Blast is not like Mortal Kombat 9. It's like, you remember Borecho Fart from MKX? Okay, so he farts and whatever. The gas stays on screen. In one spot.
Okay.
So if the opponent goes into it, they take damage over time. But if Cabal goes into it, then he heals himself over time.
He smells his own farts.
Exactly right.
He heals by smelling his own farts.
Yes, that's correct. It's also restance. So that Cabal, I think, seems really good.
Okay.
We talked about the Kano. He gets zoning and he gets combo damage, which is good for him. I think Katana seems really good, the new one, but I've heard that there's some issues. She gets basically more stage control.
Okay.
She gets like all her variations now can combo out of the sky with an air-to-air fan.
Oh, really?
Which she used to be able to do in previous games.
They buffed it for all the variations.
All the variations.
Nice.
So she just seems better overall. She gets the new crushing blow. She's got a bunch of cool stuff. Collector. He gets the Chakram, and this is what people were saying was going to be broken. It would be too good. He would be the best character in the game if they gave it to him, and they did.
Which one was the Chakram again?
So, he swings the bola?
Right?
Yeah. It replaces that, and it was super fast to come out, and it was super fast to travel across the screen, and it gave him a bunch of new combos and new zoning potential, and they nerfed it substantially. So... they
were like, it's too good.
Yeah. So it doesn't actually do the different combos that people were hoping that it would.
Okay.
So I don't really know why it's there, because if it's going to be the same speed as Bola, which it basically is, like a frame or two faster, he doesn't have command grab, he doesn't have teleport in this variation, so I don't know why you would... Well, I guess we'll see. Kotal Khan is amazing. Kotal Khan...
Oh, yeah, okay.
So they buffed him just as a base, like a lot. They gave him... new tick
grabs.
So
in this patch, he got a buff.
New tick grabs, new combo string,
Does this grab
safety.
Crouchers? They do.
No, they don't. They don't.
Okay.
They don't. They gave him a lot of really good stuff. And this variation is the totems one, so he gets to do 3 totems. If you stack them, then regardless of what the configuration is, as long as you have at least one of each of them, then you'll get the buff as if you had 3 of both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like Dormammu, but it doesn't matter which ones you do,
totally.
Yeah.
So if you have 1 defense and 2 offense, you effectively have the power of 3 defense and 3 offense.
So you should almost never be stacking.
You should always be stacking. Right.
You should do all 3 just to get the buff of everything. Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But that's only if you're standing in the field, right?
Yeah, you have to stand in... No, the buffs are everywhere.
Oh, really?
The buffs are everywhere. Yeah.
So if I drop a defense, offense, and whatever, then
you just have it until it runs out.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
see why someone in the chat says he's Q now, because he's like...
Oh, what up, hero? Yeah. That's actually interesting. I hadn't thought of him like that.
Except not permanent.
Not permanently. So I watched Mustard play against a Johnny player this morning. The Johnny player was throwing off and Mustard just put up the totems, and he put the ray on himself, and he blocked, and even though he was taking chip damage, he was getting life back. over
He was
time
getting
because he was
more
taking so
life.
much less damage.
Dang.
So I think he seems really good. I think he's a huge buff for him.
I think Kotal's awesome too.
Good
That's
girl.
my cat voice. There you go.
Yeah, we talk about others. Oh, I think Raiden's is not great, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, because Raiden just, yeah.
Raiden probably could have used some help, but I don't know. We talked about Scarlet's. I think sounds cool. She gets restand and different zoning abilities. I haven't seen anybody use Sonya's yet, but she has the new little. She's got the drone, so her little drone buddy comes out and it helps her zone and pressure.
Okay.
And then Sub-Zero has a kind of thing like the Ice Clone.
Right, it's like the ice whirlwind or something like that.
I don't know what it's called, but you just put out a little ball in front of yourself,
Right.
and it only lasts for 3 seconds, so it's not like Ice Clone in terms of length. You can attack under it.
Oh, okay.
So it's not the
But
same.
if you hit it, does it freeze you?
Yeah, it still freezes
oh,
you.
okay,
Yeah, exactly.
okay. So it's like, sorry, people
Whoa.
at home, people are hearing
That's hilarious.
probably now.
So yeah, anyway, I'm interested in seeing how he does. Shao Kahn, I'm very confused by because I feel like all of his moves are the same as the pre-existing ones, but just instead of having the shoulder, he has a spear. But it's like the same.
Right.
It moves fast,
It like
far
saves
forward,
the-
and it's unsafe, and it pops up.
Covers the same.
I don't know.
Right,
I'm
okay.
confused. Maybe there's just something I don't know. Shang Tsung gets the bunch of different ninjas.
Oh, he gets the ninjas
All the
now.
ninjas are there.
Yay!
He also gives up every single move that he has in order to do it, except for the straight skull. So there's no more up skulls. There's no
Right.
more
Dropping
corpse
stuff.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, ASMR time again.
So he may not be as credible of a zoner anymore, but this may be more of like a pressure mid-range Shang Tsung. I don't know.
Can people hear David?
I'm not sure that it's
doing
great. And then Nightwolf gets, like I said, the mid arrow, which I think is super strong. You can hold it. It's mid. It's fast. Very good. And he also gets a roll underneath projectiles
Oh, whoa.
that you can pop up with and combo into for juggles.
Okay.
So he seems like a zoner / counter zoner. I think he's really good too.
Okay. Nice.
There you go. I'm very curious to see which of these ones will actually get picked up in competitive play. Like I said,
Johnny.
I don't know how many. Half a dozen maybe.
Okay. So not too many then. Not too many.
I think for quite a few
yeah,
of these,
I mean,
the
we'll
existing
probably
ones are
see
probably
some
stronger.
Misery
but
Blade. We'll probably see some Johnny.
Johnny will definitely see.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. I even during the beta, dude. Remember me saying this? Hour 1, I was like, Misery Blade is amazing.
Right.
And then
yeah.
day 2, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. So
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought that Misery Blade was going to be his only way to stay competitive.
yeah, it seemed at the
Right,
time, right?
yeah,
He needed to stay safe, right? His strings were unsafe, for
'cause
sure.
He didn't
for sure.
have a safe string at the
For sure,
time,
for
right?
sure.
So yeah.
But he does obviously now, so I'm not convinced that that's great. We'll see though. You'll definitely see Johnny's. You'll definitely see Kotal Khan's. He's in the game now. Super cool.
Okay.
You definitely see some of these.
So now my
Gearus, I think, is sick. I love the Gearus one.
Okay. So now here's my other question.
Okay.
What do you think of Arnold?
Right, the Terminator. okay. The Kombat Cast is tomorrow, right? I believe.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
Discuss
okay.
him more in depth.
Yeah.
But there was a trailer that came out where you can see Arnold.
I did like that the fact that instead of a cracking skull, they had denting metal armor.
Yes, I thought that was
It wasn't
good.
even a cracking armor; it was denting.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I thought that was because I was wondering how they were going to handle that. Well done.
It's
Well
very
done.
nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice. That's right, our ex-governor. I'll have you know that on my diploma from this school, wow, what happenstance, I got the signature of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I got him on my diploma, baby.
He autographed
baby.
your diploma.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Along
There
with
you go.
something like 30,000 other students that year, but
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh man. But
No, I have the link in the little doc. Do you want to? Is it possible to put on?
Yeah, I can play it. It might come out a little choppy. I'll apologize to people about that. There's probably better ways to do it than this, but where's the doc?
That's what I figured too.
What?
Screw everybody else.
Oh man.
Good old Arnold.
Now,
So-
a lot of people are talking about the voice.
Right. That's part of what I wanted to show.
Right. So, I don't know. What's your thoughts on it so far?
The voice, is not very Arnoldy to me.
Now, what I
think
had
it's a little-
heard,
Okay.
what I had heard was that Arnold actually approved. He's the one who recommended the actor.
I had heard that he approved. Yeah, he recommended it.
Oh, I don't know. That's what I heard from a bunch of people. Oh, so someone even in the chat is saying
He
that-
chose him, huh?
chose
Oh, I thought
the
it was
voice
just that he
actor.
approved. Okay, wow, that's quite different then.
Yeah, so there you go. He actually picked it.
Because what I was gonna say is like it doesn't sound like him to me, and then I was like, did some lawyer come in and put the kibosh on making this character sound exactly like actual? Because there are voice actors out there who sound just like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Right.
And this guy to me does not. But you know, you guys will hear it if you haven't heard it yet.
All right. I'm gonna put it on here. Like I said, it might be a little choppy, and so let me know.
Whatever, you'll hear the voice at least.
Right. Let me know how the volume is on this too. Might be kind of loud. I like how they made him go up against a shotgun guy.
You are also a cyborg.
No, just cybernetically enhanced.
You will be terminated.
Fight!
Now I'm gonna say I don't like the way Arnold looks when he kicks.
Yeah,
It just looks weird when he's kicking.
I agree.
And he has a teleport.
That one I think actually looks cool because it's so robot-y.
Yeah,
I like that one to be honest, the air grab.
Yeah, see, look at
Right?
that, the
Yeah, you can
denting
see it.
metal. It's
For
so
sure, dude.
good, yeah. I like that. And what is that? Does he just turn his back and he just absorbs projectiles?
That's what it looked like.
Does he absorb everything, I wonder? And that's one's weird because there's no bones cracking on that one. He also looks funny when he runs, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, right that.
Yeah, it just seems odd to see him running.
I agree.
Oh, why?
This is cool
This
though.
is weird.
This is sick. This is
Now-
definitely not going to be in competitive play 100%, but it's cool looking.
And then he just basically has infinite armor, basically.
Yeah, he's got hyper armor, dude. You gotta think that's his down too, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh.
Get over here.
That I love.
Right. And of course, it's the I know that they did it on purpose. That it's kind of comically that he launches him so far away and then he's there to grab him. And they leave his legs behind.
Jeez.
And then he burns himself in his win. Why does he do that? Like, seems like a waste of material.
Okay, yeah, maybe inefficient.
Yeah, I mean that's
Pretty sick though.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the Terminator. My thoughts. So look, the voice I think doesn't sound as Arnoldy as I had expected, but I'm kind of not sure whether that's true or whether like I have a cartoon impression of Arnold in my brain. And
I am Arnold.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Get over here.
right. Because in reality, he's been living in California for so long that he doesn't have the same accent that he did in like the early 80s.
Right,
He's,
Yeah.
it doesn't not really like that anymore. So I think it might be more like my expectation was that he'd be a cartoon.
Right,
but, like,
yeah.
maybe he's just a human, you know. I don't know.
Now.
Oh man. Oh, shit. Thank you, Tempering Moon. I mean, he looks interesting to me. Like I said, kicking is weird for him. Like it just looks weird that Arnold, the Terminator, is kicking.
I mean, there were times when I think he kicked. I feel like he kicked a door. I feel like he kicked somebody back.
Right,
I think
right.
that happened a couple of times, but
Like it would have been more interesting if he had more boom kind of
big ol'
kicks
wind-up.
instead of like upward kicking swings.
I agree.
don't know. It
I
just
agree,
seemed kind
yeah.
of odd to me.
that makes sense.
And then, like I said, the running looks weird only because
Yeah.
it's so fast.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it would have been cool if it was a T-1000 and he went...
Oh my god, that would have been so cool, dude.
Yeah, I know, right?
Man.
But, like, I mean, because the thing is, the Terminator never ran, I feel like, right?
Not
like,
that I can recall,
it's
but
like he
I
just
don't know.
walked at everything. He was just like, I am thinking my... I am thinking my... just, like, taking his time or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, overall, he seems kind of neat. I mean, very Mortal Kombat-y, flourishy kind of things, like punching you with a machine gun and then shooting you off of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. That's to be expected. Mm-hmm. I do get major Jason vibes from him.
Oh,
I get major MKX Jason vibes from him.
Okay.
I think that kind of makes sense because I felt Jason fit very well with like what his character was in that game because he looks like a corpse fighting.
Right. Yeah.
It's very corpsey, and he had a teleport, which made sense considering that in the movies he like can like.
Yeah, I know, right?
He could come back to life. Like, he had all these things that I thought made sense for Jason. And I guess I think that those things make sense for Terminator as well, but the fact that they were on Jason and now are on Terminator, I think is weird.
I mean, Yeah, I mean, I just think it's weird he has a teleport in the first place.
I guess, was he, like, go through time or something, you think?
Like, he leaves and then he comes back.
Yeah.
Like, so he's not actually teleporting, but he's just warping back and forth or
he was
something
in the future
like
briefly,
that. I don't know. Seems kind of weird. Someone says that he doesn't have an "I'll be back" reference.
Oh, well, we'll have to see,
I'm
I guess.
sure it's going to show up.
Right,
it's going to show up.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Punch. Hit you with a back punch or something. But
yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out more about it, I think, tomorrow, but the character comes out on the 8th, so we're only a week away from playing Terminator.
I think, like if I was going to make Jason run, I wouldn't actually make him run.
Okay.
He would just be standing still and just, like, weirdly warp forward. You know what I mean? Because, like, it would be weird and horror movie-ish. You know what I mean? He would just be standing going, you know, like, all of a sudden he'd just slide at you. Like, you wouldn't even see him sliding. It was just like, he'd just jump between
that would be actually cool.
I think that would actually be kind of funny to me, but...
Yeah.
But I don't know what they could do for Terminator, right? To make him run.
I don't know. I mean, maybe
he should have been Ghost Rider and bust out a motorcycle.
Oh, jeez. That would actually have been sick, to be honest. Yeah.
Maybe one of his variations has a motorcycle.
Could be.
You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. I mean, all the characters that they make, I think, are cool in terms of gameplay. So I'm sure it'll be fun. But we'll find out more, I believe.
And then I guess he's going to have... Because Devora had the thing where she would die and the big bug would crawl out of her, right?
Yeah.
Right. But that's actually tournament legal, though, right? Or is that never...
Negative.
That wasn't in one of the variations. I just thought it wasn't good. Okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they've done that before in Injustice. Who was the one who revived in Injustice? There was...
Hellboy could do that, and Jason could do it in MKX.
Okay. So, clearly, that's kind of what the skin burning off kind of thing looks like. Right. I don't think it's going to be specific to Scorpion, because that would be hilarious.
Dude, oh my god. Fire
like, it only happens if Scorpion breathes fire on him. That would be hilarious.
Dude, yeah.
But, like, probably not going to be tournament legal, although it would be pretty hype.
It would be super hype. Dude, that would be great.
Uh-huh.
Great, but not what I expect. Right, yeah.
Did you see the video for the Harlequin skin as well?
Yeah, I did. She, I think, looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it was actually really interesting. I was like, oh, whoa. So another one of those.
So Cassie Quinn.
Yes, has the Cassie Quinn. Yeah,
that's what it said in the video. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Kano gets a cyborg outfit. It looked like.
Does he?
So he's like fully robot Kano.
Let's take our models from Injustice and port them over.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited about a lot of it.
Oh god, it'd be hilarious if the Terminator just for no reason had all of Arnold Schwarzenegger's quotes.
What do you mean for no reason? Of course.
I hope he has the win quote when he beats Sub-Zero and goes, Sub-Zero, now, Plane Zero.
There are so many Schwarzenegger movie references that they could have knocked it out of the park on. I'm not going to get hyped for it because probably not. But if, unlikely, if it would be incredible.
Because, I mean, like, if he beats somebody and after they're dead, he just looks at him and goes, he's just dead. You know? Like, that'd be great. But Sub-Zero now play. Oh, my God. It's so perfect.
It would be.
I've made that joke during Mortal Kombat commentary. Like, come on. Oh, dude.
Ice to meet you. Yeah, that was a classic for sure. Who is your daddy could be applied to Jackie or to Cassie.
Yeah, I know. Cassie comes like, you should know me and my dad. Yeah. Who's your daddy?
And what does he do? Yeah, that would be so great.
Is there any way to have a put the cookie down? Oh my God. That would be amazing.
This is definitely not happening. But it would be so great.
Oh my God. If they don't have the Sub-Zero. Oh, but I can't.
No, there's no way.
It'd
would be cool.
Too hilarious.
Impossible.
Sub-Zero now playing Zero. That was always the worst line too. Oh man. Or like just have it so one of his fatality, he splits you in half and he goes, what happened to this person? He split.
Oh, they gotta all be silly punchlines. Yeah, for sure.
Like all of his win quotes have to be terrible punchlines, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
Somebody does a crushing blow on him and you get to see his innards real fast and then he goes, it's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's not a tumor. God. I'm laughing way too much at the ideas.
Yeah, that's great. There's a lot of good ideas in here that legally they probably can't do.
That would be cool if he actually said that to Jax. Jax, you son of a bitch.
That's right, yeah.
Freaking anything before the match, dude. That'd be awesome. Oh, God, it's amazing. Okay.
A lot of good ideas that won't happen. Okay, well, I guess that's it for that.
Okay.
A lot of cool new variations. Check them out, folks. They are live.
Find a new rival.
Do you want to talk about the next stuff now, or do you want to take a quick break? It's only been like 50 minutes.
Yeah, we can continue that.
Yeah, let's just go with the next thing stuff. So.
Sure.
Okay.
So we have tournaments to talk about. Somehow I've lost my last tab here. Great. Alright, well, I don't understand, but we'll just go backwards then. Alright, I think you can handle a small delay. Alright, buddy. Let's talk about...
I'm actually pretty damn sleepy, though, so...
Let's talk about CEOtaku.
Yes.
Gotta put the glottal stops in there. This is, of course, a big tournament. It's become quite big.
Yeah, and
anime-focused, but quite big.
Yeah, and a lot of the companies are really kind of embracing it. It has the trailer there and everything like that, so it's really cool.
A bunch of playable stuff was there. BB Tag. I was keeping a tag on the BB Tag 2.0 news. People were like investigating the characters. And, like, here's the changes we noticed. Like all sorts of stuff.
I saw like a lot of the low health characters gain some life, so they don't die instantaneously.
Right? Yeah, the game's become so bursty. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
I think that's really cool. And it's back at the old previous spot where CEO always used to be.
Yeah, the old Wyndham. That's one of the main reasons
so
I kind of want to go, is I want to just go back to the Wyndham Hotel.
It's a really nice venue.
And then have Wawa right there.
Yeah, it's right. The hotel itself is like a normally, it's like a good hotel, whatever. The venue area.
Right.
Very
Not
nice.
only that, but also going to the venue in October instead of June.
Can you imagine not sweltering?
Not dying trying to go from the hotel to the venue.
That
it would
sounds
be
great,
amazing.
actually. Yeah.
Like, I kind of miss that. But.
Yeah. Oh, the pool parties were always cool.
Yeah, but I'm probably not in October though. Well, there is a hot tub.
I bet it's nice. I bet it's.
There. Yeah,
it was not cold enough. Well, it couldn't have been cold late September, right?
Yeah, I know.
In
That's
Florida?
probably true. Yeah, that's true. But
Anyway,
very cool. Yeah.
total entrance just shy of 1,000. So.
Dang, nice.
Yeah, no, it's great. They're doing great out there. Undernight in Birth, EXE Latest was won by Red Blade.
I
with
wish
Wagner.
there was freaking Wawas here in California. It's
100%.
actually good, decent food and food selection for a 7-Eleven-ish gas
It's a
station
gas
stop.
station,
Yeah,
right? Considering that it's a
like,
gas station.
Yeah, their
it's so
food
good.
is actually really good. Like, you don't go there and get hot dogs from 7-Eleven and then think you might die or something like that. Ugh, God, Wawa's is so... You know what? I'm going to try to see if I can open up the first Wawa out here and become a bazillionaire, dude. Anyways, continue.
Red Blade won it with Wagner. You got Trill with Chaos, then Hiyari with Lina. Ooh, Klim got 4th with Phonon and Merc.
Nice.
Very nice. I think that was the highlighter.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 was won by Teresa Jam. Hotashi Elfelt, nice. Deb Soul.
Man.
Then Lost Soul Elfelt.
Did you see
Fu
the
got
ma-
5th. Shoutouts.
Did you see the match where Hotashi stole Teresa's soul by air throwing the burst?
No.
And he won it off of that.
Okay, nice.
And they switch back to the camera, and Hotashi's like, because when you steal burst, it's like the greatest thing.
Of course.
And like Teresa just has the most look of despair on his face. He's like, he looks at Hotashi and sees Hotashi popping off, and immediately Teresa's like, like it was like
That's so cool.
He was suffering so much, dude. It was amazing,
that's
dude.
great.
I don't know how you beat him. Like, I just feel like if you're beating him, you just feel like you're the biggest jerk on the planet because you are crushing his heart.
I see.
He's such an
He's
emotional
such a nice
guy,
fella.
dude. Yeah, but he did end up winning, so he
Right.
was really happy. So
Right.
there you go. Yeah. It's so funny.
Samurai Showdown.
Oh, by the way, just, for the chat, want to give a shout-outs to the commentary for the top 8 on there. I thought Stone did a really, really great job on that commentary.
You're talking about Sam Show.
Yeah, Sam Show top 8. Yeah, I mean,
he had to
clearly,
carry it for sure.
Yeah, he had to do all this work
And it was
for the commentary.
it was hard for him to carry it for sure.
Exactly, so.
But he managed to do it.
No, shout-outs to Tubaware.
Yeah, you did good, man.
He did okay. He did all right.
I watched some of it. I watched it a little bit.
Oh man,
I
I like
it's not
how
my
your
favorite
comment
game, but you
on,
did a good job.
I like your comment on social media, like I'm watching it for Tubo.
That was it.
I was like, man, you're just suffering, dude. You are just suffering. Oh man.
Kizzy K, AN Kizzy K won it with Shizumaru and a little bit of Charlotte. Lord Jimmy Bones got 2nd. Charlotte and Nukio. Shout out to Jimmy Bones.
Yeah, he
Alzarath
quit
3rd
ST, but
with Jubei.
he's
right.
in the Samurai Showdown. He's
Right.
going hard.
Well, I mean, I
into
remember
it,
him
too.
saying when he was going to quit ST, he was like, "I'm thinking about taking up Sam Show when that comes out." Like I remember talking to him about
really?
it. This was like we
Okay.
just found out about Sam Show.
Okay.
He was like, I really like that series. I'm gonna maybe try that out. And so, shout out to him.
Yeah, he's doing well there. So
Very cool.
It's awesome.
Alzarath Jubei, Aru Yoshitora, Lost Soul Shiki.
Yeah, shout outs to Lost Soul. I didn't even know he was playing the game. What's that? Oh, awesome. Yeah, but shout outs to Lost Soul. I didn't know he was going to be picking up Sam Show. And here he is, top 8. I mean, obviously, Lost Soul's just super talented.
He's just a good player.
He's just a good player, dude. Super good, super good.
Moomaster Nakaruru and Fu again with Yashamaru.
Yeah.
Shouts to Fu, man. He got two top 8s.
Nice.
BB Tag was won by Shinku with Yang Ruby and Tempest Romeo with Yu Wald, Carmine S after that.
Which guy, Tubaware? Are you talking about Lost Soul, or are you talking about Jimmy Bones on Sam's show?
Yeah.
I also saw a lot of Lost Soul. I also saw a lot of compliments for him and Romanova on Dragon Ball commentary.
I saw that as well.
So, yeah,
I didn't see it, but
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but good stuff there.
I had
too.
a chance to watch it.
Hey, I played Dragon Ball this weekend, okay? Fact.
Wow.
Fact. Although, the one thing that I have discovered about fighting games, and this has got to be fixed.
Okay.
I think this is a big problem
Okay.
right now. I think this is a big problem with fighting games, is that by the time you're in your 2nd or 3rd year, you've got to have package deals with the season pass. Because Sam Show digitally on the Switch was $60.
Yes.
And there's no package deals. I had to just buy that or just spend the $90-some for the Season 1 pass, which is basically the same cost as the game. And it's like less to buy
Are you
that.
talking about DBFZ or Sam Show?
DBFZ.
Oh, okay.
DBFZ. And then there's Season 2, which I also don't have.
Okay.
So, like, in order to get all the characters, I literally have to spend, like, $120, $110 on that. And
That sucks.
and I didn't. I just stuck with
Okay.
the base characters 'cause I'm just trying to relearn some systems and stuff
Okay.
like that. But, like, I just feel like that, like, now I think about it, for everybody who's trying to learn a game, they're like, this game looks sick, I'm going to come and play, and they're going to be like, what the hell, how much do I have to spend? So, all those little package deals that they have that are advertised on the Capcom Pro Tour streams all the time,
Yeah.
I think are a really good idea.
Okay,
I mean,
fair
it's
enough.
a really good way to get, it's too, like I said, I picked up Dragon Ball again, just so I can mess with it on the plane, and I did play it, and
Yeah.
it was expensive, dude.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying not to be fair.
Yeah, I know. We're
It's
trying
not super successful, I understand. But boy, there's a lot more thoughts running through my brain than come out,
I'll tell
believe
you
me.
this, though. I mean, like, having gotten back into it a little bit, like, just messing around with it, it's very different than it was before.
Yeah,
It's very different than it was before. They've added a lot of little interesting tweaks to it. Right now, honestly, it just sounds like the biggest consensus is that GT Goku is just too strong. Like, literally, like, you should not be playing the game unless GT Goku is on your team, basically. So.
Okay. Brain blast. Thanks, Ryan. So, BBCF Beta Dude won it with Ragna. Nice. DLZ with Susano, then SKD Izoyoi. Man, that's cool. Cool results. Shout out to Beautiful Dude who also got top 8. Oh, Brad.
Nice. Okay.
Man, those guys are good. The old Santa Barbara fellas. DBFZ was won by Echovox Sonic Fox.
Oh, okay. No shock there. But I will tell you this, though.
Nakiel second.
Just shouting out shouts to the Santa Barbara guys, though. They drive down to the Los Angeles area a lot.
I know.
And that is but, I mean, I'm saying that because that's why they're so good.
Of course.
Because they take that dedication. You see a lot of people are like, I can't go to my local. It's 40 minutes away. These guys are driving like 3 hours or something to come to Los Angeles, you know, and then they find ways to spend the night and all this other. But they're dedicated to getting better, and that's sometimes that's what you gotta do.
They do. They
right?
both made top 8s.
Like, I always tell the story of Paradigm. He made 2 top 8s at Evo. Why? Because he was driving 2 hours to Super Arcade all the time.
Well, the dedication, which is shown by it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
ASAP Ricky and Kill Sage as well, top 4. Then you had Skullgirls. Oh, yeah, Sonic Fox won that as well. Dude, I watched this. Cloud got second place. Not 805, but... And he made it through in winners. So he beat Fox.
Oh, wow. Okay,
and then in grand finals, I think it was 6-0 Sonic Fox.
Oh, no.
It was an absolute stomping. But, no, maybe it wasn't... Maybe it was 3-0, 3-2, actually, now that I think about it. Because I think that there was a moment where Cloud
almost
could have taken it, or maybe he could have won. It was either that he could have won the tournament or could have taken a game.
Right. Okay.
It was 3-2. Okay, yeah. So there was a moment where Cloud could have and just didn't.
Sonic Fox.
Sonic Fox, man. Melted Blood won by Scrot Vermilion. Caliber 6 MT Fighter. Marvel 3. Oh yeah, I watched that as well. Dapvit beat Tong to win it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Tong with Hulk, Sentinel, Hagar, and it's Hulk. Well, so Hulk, Hagar, Sentinel usually, I guess, and Sentinel has Rocket Punch assist. It's not even drawn. It's like a 20. Yeah, it's a 2012 team.
It's the Campbell River team.
It's a 7-year-old team for sure. Teresa won Accent Core plus R, then Mahoko, and then Mike Z got third. All right.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Million Arthur Arcana Blood won by J3 with Koumei Sakiyama. Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax won by Tsuntenchi with Asuna and Celti. Sailor Moon S won by Vicky Viper, Sailor Uranus. And Koihime Enbu Ryo Rairai won by Mr. K with Kakoton and Hoto.
You know, it's funny, they didn't list the Tekken tournament there, the Tekken side tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Sonic Fox getting top 8 at a side tournament after picking the game up, literally because Zafina dropped, because he loves Zafina, and as soon as they dropped Zafina, him and his brother said, we're playing Tekken now, and then they bought it, and then he made top 8.
He got 4th, I think.
Yeah, he got 4th, I think it was, and he, you know, some people are like, oh, it's a side. I mean, he beat Shadow 20Z, if I'm not mistaken, who's like top 8, like, in a lot of events. It wasn't like it was a slouch kind of thing. I don't think it was like free. But he has been playing Tekken for, obviously, he's been a DOA player forever. He's got all the 3D background.
Yeah, I know he used to play Tekken when he was a kid. Right. Boy.
Oh, was it somebody else? It wasn't Shadow 20Z? Oh. Because if it was Shadow, then I would have been surprised.
Okay.
If it was somebody in the 20Z party, okay. Because I thought that was Shadow that he beat. Because if it was Shadow that he was beating, because I was just like, how is this guy not the greatest fighting game player of all time, dude? Because like that's ridiculous.
They're up there anyway, obviously.
It's crazy. But
all right, CEOtaku again.
Yeah, see, that's the
cool.
thing is, that's what I would have thought. There's like no way Shadow would have lost. So if it was Shadow, then I would be like Sonic Fox is ridiculous. You know.
All right.
But yeah, don't say no way.
It seemed like a good event. Let's talk about Fighting Fest, huh?
Yes.
You were there. This was in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, shout outs to Yipes again, by the way. So had a lot of fun there.
It was a ranking event on the Capcom Pro Tour.
Mm-hmm. And it was a good match.
You want to talk about it all?
Good tournament.
Okay.
So, I mean, the thing about it is, remember when we went to Game Over last year? Not in 2019, but in 2018. Was it? It was 2018 we went.
I believe
there,
it
right?
was.
Yeah. And we went there, and we were pretty surprised at the production value that they had over
Ooh,
there.
they did a great job.
Dude, they stepped it up. Like, the Fighting Fest was really nice. There was definitely some stream flubs at the beginning. Like, when we first came on, we were literally at, like, 6 frames per second or something like that and everything. But, like, the venue was really nice. It was at the top floor of a mall. A big, popular mall, too. There's a food court right outside there that was just right there. So it's like, oh, I'm going to go out and just go eat this. And, for, players traveling, I mean, the food courts, there's the Wendy's, the Subway, the KFC, whatever. It was just everything that you want. Yeah. So it was a really nice venue. You go inside, and they had 4 main games on 4 big screens and 1 giant screen in the middle.
Oh, nice.
Instead of having 1 game at the middle, they had it show whatever they wanted it to from the 4 big games on the side. So basically, they would show the Street Fighter stuff, and then when it was in between matches, they would flip it over to Mortal Kombat 11, then to Smash, and they would flip it to whatever they wanted, which was really, really cool. They actually, I mean, weird to say, but they had stanchions blocking like the pools to make sure people didn't crowd around them. Although what was funny was there was more people who entered Smash, but there was no stanchions at Smash, but there were stanchions at Street Fighter because the TO was like, the Smash scene here in DR is way more organized than the Street Fighter.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, okay.
And I was like, whoa, okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, they don't need the stanchions, but we have them for the Street Fighter. But I was like, okay.
That's great.
But they even had monitors with all the pools on them.
Okay, I saw the picture.
They would just cycle through the pools and stuff like that. They did a really cool job. It was really well. They had a roof section outside where you could go buy food and stuff like that. There was even a bar inside that you could just buy food, drinks there. They had like ice cream that they were serving people. I was really, really impressed by it. Okay, I was really, really impressed by it, and it made me sad that there wasn't that many international people traveling to it, because I don't know. It was like I said, the production was really good. I think it's something that people got to look into. Shout outs to Blink Esports. I think they're doing a really great job.
It was cool to watch.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and the matches. I mean, the talent there is really good too. I was talking to a bunch of people. I didn't even know the backstory. So there's one Tekken player. I think his name was Energy. I think his name is. But he won first place. He went to defend the North. It was the first international tournament he ever went to, and he sent JDCR to losers at that tournament. Okay. So and then Sonic's the Smash player that we saw last year on Smash Wii U. He won first place in Smash. Okay. The Smash 4 now, and so Smash Ultimate. Sorry. So there's obviously, and then the DR guys got all top 8. It's all DR.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I mean, there was definitely a few other guys from different places, like Doom Snake, Max. A lot of players from Mexico showed up and stuff like that. But sure enough, DR just dominated.
Kaba did not get top 8, huh? Dude, and neither did Ray. Wow.
So Kaba lost to Hochi and Crossover.
Oh no!
So he lost the 2 Akumas. Bad. He lost the 2 Akumas.
Yeah, and people who he trains with.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah.
So winner was F3 Lilo. Nice.
So Blink Esports, they've existed, but this is like the first year they're doing big. They said that this is their first official more than single day tournament that they even ran. But they ran the 5v5 earlier between the DR and Japan. That was early in the year that Yipes and Tasty went to. And then they helped out with Game Over a little bit as well. So it's like...
Nice.
So I don't know if technically they said this is the second Fighting Fest, so I think they've been around for a little bit longer than that, but this is the first time that they're kind of dude, Kaba's hair is ridiculous, dude. Seeing it in person too.
What happened to his hair?
You've seen his hair now, right?
Yeah,
he's got the big giant guile coif thing that he almost looks kind of Elvis-ish.
Hasn't he had that?
He's had it for maybe less than a year now.
Okay, yeah.
But it's still amazing seeing it in person too.
He's a good-looking kid, man. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. So Lilo won it. Balrog and Zeku.
Yeah, he was crying when he won winners finals.
Okay.
He sent Mena RD to losers and winners finals, and he started crying already.
Aww.
Dude, he was so overcome. He was shaking, crying kind of thing.
Aww.
And then when he won the tournament, it just kind of sunk in. Dude,
That's impressive to have that reaction and yet still do well after that. That's hard to keep yourself together mentally for the next match.
It's tough too because Mena RD did switch to Akuma, and he stuck with him in the grand finals and ended up losing. And I don't know if Mena RD probably should have stuck with Birdie. I mean, I feel like he should have stuck with Birdie. But Mena RD, it was crazy because he just flipped a switch in the middle of his match with Mandrake. Mandrake, by the way, who played out of his mind.
Nice.
He played the best that I've ever seen him play. He even beat Doomsnake to get into top 8. Team kill. They're both Sonic Box, I think. But Doomsnake afterwards, he's like, I never lose to him. He was like, I never lose to him. But then after he won, he was like, he had to tell him that he felt like he was playing better than he's ever felt like he's played, and it continued the whole weekend.
Oh, that's so cool.
He lost. He went down 0-2 to crossover, then won 3 in a row, then 3-0 the next person, then 3-1 to the next person, and he just didn't lose anything, and then went up 0-2. He went up 2-0 against Mena RD.
Whoa!
And then Mena RD was like, wait. I'm Capcom Cup champion. Switch. Flip.
Yeah, okay.
And then that was it. And then he destroyed Mandrake. It was crazy.
Interesting.
Dude. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a little bit, Fanta. Actually, I could talk about it now, but one of the announcements that they had during the Smash Top 8 was that Blink is starting their own esports team, the Bandits. The Bandits. And who are the players that are on there? It was Mena RD is on there, Crossover's on there, one of the Smash players, and I can't remember who the last one was. They wanted DR Gross, but apparently DR Gross is retired now?
Yeah, he had a kid, and he was taking that seriously.
Oh, okay. There you go. So, yeah. But that's really cool. So now they're going to try to fly these guys out more internationally, get these guys to travel more and show off more stuff. And if they can keep building it up and get more of those guys out there, get Sonic's, the Smash player out there, get Energy out there for Tekken and stuff like that, I think it would be super cool. So there you
go. Second place was Mena, as you said, Birdie Akuma. Third was Mandrake with Urian, then Hochi, then Juan Fran, with Alex, actually, tied with Louis Man Dawson. And then Akurasado with Colleen Vega and Crossover with Akuma.
Yeah, Akurasado also got second place in Mortal Kombat, so he's just a really good player.
Yeah, Smash Bros. Won by Sonics, as you said. Nice. And is it pronounced Zero Mart Snake or Omart?
I don't know,
actually.
Because
he's the guy who's on Bandits as well, who's on Smash.
Oh, he's the other one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure.
He is a lawyer as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Omar or Zero Mart?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As is Hochi. So shout outs to those fellas.
Oh, yeah.
Shout outs to a scene where a significant portion of them are lawyers and doctors. Cool.
Dr. Rai.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat 11 won by Clantigua with Kotal Khan and Noob. This is pre-patch Kotal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, so you mean the Kotal Khan buffs were...
Literally yesterday.
Oh, okay. So even the previous buffs didn't make him...
I mean, better, but
right,
not...
Yeah. Okay.
Now he's very strong.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure, because Yipes was like, whoa, Kotal, he sucks. And I was like, he's a little better than he did when he started. Yeah, but now, okay.
DBFZ was won by Shocks. Tekken 7 by Energy Marduk.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, Sam Show by Eric KOF or Erikoff?
Eric KOF. Oh, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, okay.
Could be like Didimo, right?
Yeah, so, I don't know.
I kept calling him Eric KOF. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad that it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a good time. They treated us really, really well out there. And, I mean, they booked me and Yipes in, the Hotel International. So it was just kind of American. But the restaurant that they had there was super good.
Nice.
And they, I had the mofongo. I had the La Bandera, which is apparently a standard dish of the giant, pork belly, chunk of pork belly with rice and fried plantains and red beans, and it was so good.
Okay.
Dude. Oh, me and Yipes, I think, ate there 3 times.
Okay, nice.
Of our time there, and it was super good. Mofongo was amazing.
I would make my own Esports FGC all lawyer team for sure. We have good players.
You,
Neo,
Hochi
for sure.
Omar
or Zero Mart. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. You got Defeat Lee is a lawyer. You got Donka.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Lawyer,
yeah.
or to be lawyer anyway. Law student. Bizarro Flame, I think, is a lawyer. Top Smash player. He may have quit now, but he was definitely one of the better Melee players. There's a few others.
Okay.
Look, man, Ryan's my buddy, all right, but Ryan's not. I wouldn't want him on the team. Let's just say. But you know actually was cool?
There's no Ryan team.
There's like just a few esports lawyers, right? And one of them, Bryce, actually, there was a Twitch Rivals thing over the weekend at TwitchCon, and it was in Teamfight Tactics, and he actually got to the final stage.
Nice.
He thought he was gonna suck, but he actually did well. I was like, yes.
Nice.
All right. Anyway,
Good stuff.
not that many lawyers out there, but there are some. Asuda Matsu, Mortal Kombat player in Italy.
Oh dang. Okay.
There's a few. There's a few out there.
Okay. What would you name the team? Like Upholding the Law, or like?
Boy, I would be disappointed if it turned out as Upholding the Law. I don't know. I'd have to stew on it a little bit.
I fought the law and the law won.
Okay, that actually is cool. That is a cool one.
It's just a long name.
Yeah.
That's all. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law. Anyways.
An all-programmer team. Wow, that is a big team.
That is a gigantic team.
That's a huge team.
Yeah,
All right, Rev Major 2019. This was a master event on the Tekken
you would
World
have
Tour.
you would obviously have guys like Mike Z on there,
Yeah.
right? You would have
There's a lot.
there's a ton of them. Yeah.
I feel like there's like so many that my brain's like, I don't know which ones to name.
Enma
Like,
would be on there,
Yeah.
Tom and Tony Cannon. Like you would have a lot of old people there for sure.
So Rev Major, again, this is in Manila.
Yes.
Master event on the
Tekken,
TWT.
yes.
And also Tenkaichi event on the DBFZ World Tour. So in Tekken, by the way, I heard great things about the event itself. I saw a lot of people talking about how it was really fun. Great production value as well.
Right.
They had some funny skits.
Okay, I didn't see that.
They did. They had... I don't know. I mean, it seemed like good commentary, good venue area. It looked like, for at least from the stream.
I mean, they've got the trio, the trifecta of Tekken commentators there, right? So, and when you get into the second place thing, I'll talk about that a little bit.
Alrighty, this was won by UYU Lohai with Shaheen Law and Steve.
2 years in a row, I heard. So.
Is that so? Yamasa Nobi got second place with Dragunov and Steve.
So apparently there's a player out there, a young kid,
Yeah.
who calls himself the son of Nobi.
I heard about this.
They actually had to play each other on stream, and he beat him.
Nobi won.
Yeah, Nobi won, and Nobi went up and gave him a hug and everything. And after he got second place, he gave him his medal.
I heard about that.
He gave
That's
him
so
his
cool.
medal. And he
So
said,
cool.
I was hoping I could have given him a bigger trophy, but this will be good enough. And I was like, oh,
That's very
God.
cute. Yeah.
I was like, my heart. Oh, man.
On the one hand, that makes me think, wow, he's such a nice guy. And on the other hand, it makes me think, he's got to have won a lot of tournaments in his day for second place to just be something you give away.
Yeah.
Second place trophy just doesn't matter to you at all.
Right.
So, whatever.
He's like,
kid.
I've got like 7,000
Exactly,
of these
yeah.
things. Whatever. Here, take
Yeah.
this kid. Yeah.
No, that is really cool, though.
A team of economists and business people called Low Overhead.
Wow, you've been thinking about this, huh? But I like it.
I like that one. I
it.
like that one.
Nice work.
Low Overhead. Okay,
Nice work.
Okay. I'm down with that.
So this is a Masters event, so that's a big deal in terms of the Tekken World Tour point
That's not
situation.
actually true. Is that Megadon? I hope that's not true. He says Nia was DQ'd because crowd wanted his autograph.
Wow.
I mean, like, that would not even be right. Anyways.
Then Gen, then Rang Chu, then Chanel and JGCR, and Chikarine and iMusician. Oh yeah, I watched some clips of iMusician playing Yoshi. It was really fun.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He had some cool suicides in there.
It's true, apparently?
What do you mean?
So what, like he was on the way to the venue, then people stopped him, and then he didn't get to his pool on time or something? Is that what happened? And he says he doesn't care about the DQ. He entered the loser's bracket via DQ. Oh,
Okay.
oh he missed the sign-ups, is what...
He actually got 13th place.
Oh, okay. So, that's fine.
So he was
doesn't-
DQ'd in the losers and ended up just being 13th?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I don't think Nee cares. He's probably another one of those guys who's like, look, I'm already in the TWT.
Yeah, I mean,
I've got money and points.
You're trying to win money still. I mean, it's not
but
irrelevant.
Still,
but,
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Dragon Ball FighterZ was won by Fenrich, Cell, Kid Goku, and Vegeta. Mado got second place, then Matoi. Alright. Street Fighter V Arcade Edition was won by Tachikawa with Colleen. Then Jamsei, Colleen G. Then Dawn, Akuma. Then Bully, 69, Birdie. Then fifth places were John Ding, Rashid, and Filipino champ Dawson.
Oh, dang, nice. Okay.
He has been living out there.
Yeah. He's been out there for a while. It's like working on a fighting game.
He is indeed.
Doing a bunch of stuff out there, so.
If I recall correctly, a Filipino history-based fighting game.
I'm just trying to figure out how much... So they had a bunch of Jollibee tie-in over there for this event, right? Jollibee, which is a fast food restaurant brand. It's like kind of their McDonald's a little bit, except McDonald's exists everywhere. But it's like there's some in the U.S. as well.
Oh, yeah?
So Filthy Rich, who used to work on Double Helix, right? And then went to Amazon.
Yeah, Namco before that.
Yeah, Namco. He eventually left all that, and now he works at Jollibee.
Oh, that's right. That's
so
right.
I'm wondering if a lot of the tie-ins, there was even like a Josie Bee T-shirt where they drew Josie in the style of the Jollibee.
For sure, it's got to have been.
I'm wondering, like, I was like, was that just like Filthy Rich going like, yes, we're doing this, like 100%.
That, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder. You know, John Ding plays Street Fighter. He's very good at it too.
He has been playing Street Fighter. That's not, yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of crazy.
I didn't even realize.
As soon as I saw the Jollibee stuff, I was like, this is Filthy Rich
Yeah,
written
you're right.
all over this,
You're
dude.
right,
Yeah,
sure.
no, that's
I'm
where he
sure.
is now. That's where he's at. I mean, he's okay me publicizing that. I mean, I don't see why not.
I don't see why
So,
not,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
But he definitely does, so.
Yes, John Ding plays Cammy, or at least he did. Smash Ultimate was won by JJ Rockets, Diddy. Marvel 2 was won by JR Bata with Magneto Storm Psylocke.
That just means Champ didn't enter.
I was
so.
just thinking that, yeah.
Well, it is MVC 2. So
Yeah, but he played Marvel 2.
He's good at it, yeah.
Sam Show was won by Score with Haomaru.
Yeah. Jollibee, the fast food place with the spaghetti and the fried chicken. Yes, I've only eaten it. There is one in Cerritos, I think, around here. But the one that I ate at was in Hawaii, and I definitely had to get the spaghetti there. But it's Filipino style spaghetti, so it's sweeter. So I was just like, I gotta do this fast food spaghetti, dude.
Fanish won BB Tag. Shun won Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. Seo won Under Night. Matt Gaw won MK11.
Damn, I didn't realize there was this many
Bladed
games there.
Snake won Soul Calibur 6 and Score won KOF 14.
Damn, I didn't realize there were so many tournaments.
High five, everybody.
That's cool. Good job,
Yeah,
the
it
Red
seemed
Major.
good.
Dude, it's so wonderful. Like, just recently I retweeted out because someone hit me up about the Greek major that was just played, right?
Yeah. Didn't we talk about it?
Yeah, we did. And I just think that that's so cool that, like, all the different areas, like DR stepping it up with this, and Rev Major and the Philippines stepping it up with this.
Sure.
And not only that, but it's just, like, all the involvement as well, right? Because, I mean, people were telling... It's really interesting, too, because every time I travel to these places, you just get this different perception of what people think of esports in the U.S.
Right, okay.
They feel like esports in the U.S. is like,
It's
like,
huge, man. They're giving out esports management degrees
they-
now.
Yeah, dude. And it's really still not even, that's still kind of gross. But,
Horrible.
you know, but, I mean, that's just, I mean, they feel that way.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they keep coming up to me, they're like, oh, in DR, it's not like the U.S. where esports is just a small thing here. And I was like, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean,
esports-
comparatively speaking, of course,
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
is
yeah.
bigger. I understand, but it's still it needs to grow a lot.
Yeah. And like I said, I still think it's overblown. I still think
Of
it's
course.
the bubble
Of
right now.
course,
Right?
of
The
course.
bubble's gonna pop at
I
some
mean, it's
point
not
in
just
time.
people in the FGC who think that.
Yeah.
I've talked with many people in esports, and everybody thinks that.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that.
But it's funny because, you know, with all these places, you know, stepping up and just doing all these awesome production value and stuff like that, and, you know, they keep talking about how much MENA RD changed perception of esports in the Dominican Republic, and now
Sure.
I talk to so many people, they're just like, yeah, I'm working to become one of the best, and like he's inspired so
that's great.
many people out there, and it's one of those tough things because then it feels like, again, like I'm always paranoid about, you know, I always joke about leading people to their doom, you
Yeah,
know, as
totally,
a,
man.
as a commentator for esports,
I know what you mean.
right? And so, like, that makes me want to work harder to make esports more legitimate, to be a bigger thing so that we can spread the love down there a lot more.
I totally agree.
You know, so, I mean, because the thing is, I want TWT, CPT, DBFZ, Arc Revo, all that stuff to go to the Rev Major,
Totally.
to go to, you know, Fighting Fest and all that stuff like that. And so, yeah, anyway, sorry.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I agree on all points.
Right.
Just a couple other things to talk about. There was a CPT Online NA East,
Yes.
and it was won by Idom Laura
Yep.
over Burkish Urian. Shoutouts to Burkish. He's been a good player in the Northeast for quite a while.
Yeah.
And while I was watching this stream, a lot of people in the chat were like, "Who's Burkish?" Because
Right,
all these other guys
yeah,
are like
yeah,
Shine, Brian F, Knuckle Dude, Neon, Rob TV, Dual Kevin. Like you've heard of them. But yeah, Burkish has been around for quite a while. Super cool for him that he did get second place. He beat a lot of these guys in convincing
Right.
fashion. Like his top 8 was like 3-0, 3-1, 3-0.
Right.
And then Idom smoked him. Smoked!
Dude, Idom is
Smoked him.
just ridiculous,
Wow.
dude.
It was destruction. The thing about Idom is that his defense is unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable how consecutively he gets these decisions correct. It seems like his offense is great, neutral, great, everything. He's one of the best players in the world, absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
But his defense is the thing that strikes me because it's so rare to see him get hit by something that wouldn't hit like the absolute god, right?
Yep.
And I think that's a big part of why he makes Laura work so well, because by all accounts, Laura is like not great, low mid or something mid at best, and yet he does all this work because he just has.
He can live a lot longer.
Defense.
Yeah,
yes.
he lives
he doesn't
longer.
Die. He doesn't die.
And that's literally it. I mean, the sad thing is, if he had dedicated to any other mid-tier character,
Maybe.
he probably would be doing very similarly, just because he's just so good.
I mean, she does have particular tools, right? She has a 3-frame jab that's super good.
Right.
She has a stand short that pulls her hurt box back.
Right.
Like, she does have stuff.
So here's the reason why. Here's the reason why Laura probably works for him so well. Idom says Laura is cheap, huh? I mean, if I was Idom, I would think so too. No, but because his defense is so good, it's because he has the extremely powerful understanding of human nature, of when they want to go high or low or whatever like that, right? And if you take that and apply it onto the offensive side, everybody else who played Laura is going to miss their command throw or get their overhead blocked, and then all of a sudden you get punished. All of her stuff is very punishable. But if it never gets blocked or you're always right, you're going to win. And so a character like a character like Laura has that power that some other characters don't have. Right? Especially with a command throw that you can't tech, right? So totally, there you go. So
I feel like every time Burkish went for a grab, it got teched. And every time he went for an immediate button, it got blocked. And every time he went for a delayed button, it got stand jabbed. Like I feel like every time it was like amazing to watch.
Oh god, that's one of those matches where when you play, you're like you're just like. Are you just guessing right every time?
Definitely was.
Like, you just get so mad, dude.
So I believe it was 6-0. I mean, in each individual game, Burkish didn't actually get demolished. It was just that it was a 6-0.
Yeah, of course.
That was cool. Then there was also MK11 Online Australia.
Oh, yeah.
New Zealand,
I remember reading about this one.
Which was won by Wasminator. What up? I don't know. I have no conception of what time it is in Australia right now, to be honest. But whatever time it is, if you're still in the chat, congratulations to you.
Good job. Well, by the way, going back to that thing that you kind of teased, or maybe we could save it for later about the esports degree.
I definitely want to talk about that later.
Okay, we'll get to it later then. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, he had that 100-game win streak Idom did on stream that one time. Yeah.
I was there. I felt like that was one of those moments in Street Fighter where I was like, I was there. It was like a big moment.
Nice.
100
It was
games.
crazy, dude. Like, you can't... That guy is ridiculous. All
right. And then SFL happened as well. Gale beat Storm 3-0. So, do over Storm, do over Strider, shine over Mojo, Rob TV over Tommy, 2-step.
Okay.
Blow up. Spirit over Frost. So, CJ Truth over Samurai, Akuma.
CJ Truth be doing the one thing that nobody else could.
Sabin, Dalsum over Sherry Genix Nikali, and then Idom Laura beat Frost Dual Kevin. CJ, Idom, Arturo is a good team.
That's a broken team.
It's a good team.
It's a broken team.
I think that's legit right there. And then Psycho beat Inferno. So that is to say, Smug beat Broly, Punk beat Automatic, then Dankadias beat JB,
and
then Punk beat Smug,
and then
Dankadias beat Punk.
Dankadias.
Dankadias,
dude. Dankadias, dude.
Yep.
Did you see the thread where everyone was trying to say where they were like, "What would Smug call your what's your Smug version of your handle?"
I didn't see that. That's
yeah.
hilarious.
I saw some people talking about that, and I just responded, "Nobody calls me by my gamer tag."
Oh, okay.
Although some people said I would be like jchensor or something like that.
Okay, yeah. Ultra David.
Ultra David, yeah. Oh
That's
man.
So anyway, current last place team is Punk Broly Legs JB. 1 and 3.
What the hell
I know, my
is
God.
even happening?
Current first place undefeated 4-0. Do Rob TV Shine.
Yeah.
That's all for results.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to take an old breakity break?
Let's take a break.
Break them a break.
We will be so we can postulate the possibilities.
Correct.
Get ourselves some turkey neck bones and
I actually have to heat up my yesterday's Rosh Hashanah dinner.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Oh, yeah. There's all sorts of goodies in here.
Okay.
There's all sorts of goodies in here.
Okay. I may pick at something just so I can have some authentic Jewish food.
Okay,
here.
all right,
Where'd
yeah.
you get it from?
My mom made it.
Oh, sick. Nice. Homemade food? Okay, we're going in there. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back, guys.
Break them a break.
Break them a break. I'm going to pick up this camera, and Jasmine's going to think I'm going to feed them now because that's what she always thinks. But the reason why I want to do this is because... Hang on a second, David. I have this on here. I'm just going to put this up here because I just want to show off Cat in the Box. Cat in the Box.
Oh, yeah, look at
They
this guy.
love this box. Both of them love this box. Ever since I put this box here, they've jumped in there and sleep in there all the time. Cat in the Box. He's just chilling. Look at his expression, dude.
What up, man?
He's such a cute cat. He's just staring around. Anyway, okay.
Oh, brisket.
Oh, brisket, huh? Nice. James Machen. Oh boy. So did you have a good holiday weekend then? David?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, how about you?
I mean, I was in the Dominican Republic, so I did not have...
Oh, that's right, though.
I did not celebrate Rosh Hashanah, you said?
Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh
yeah.
Hashanah.
The New Year.
I did not celebrate. Oh, that smells good, dude. Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay, I'll show the food on stream. People want to see the food on stream. God, that smells really good.
Yeah, it is.
Dang. And for you, it's like specially tuned to your taste buds, too.
Totally.
So, you know, everything my mom makes is basically the best of everything.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
It's always a weird situation, too, because, like, my mom cooks all the meals at home. My dad helps, but my parents used to own a Chinese restaurant. My dad was the head chef. Dad clearly knows how to cook, you know. And he's made really, really good stuff before, so. God, it's so funny. You just hear the beep and you open the door right away. And I always remember telling the story of when we got our first microwave. You had to like let it finish and then sit there for like 3 minutes because you were scared if you opened it up you would get nuked by the microwaves and stuff like that.
That was before my time.
Yeah, we had the first microwave, dude. It was like we were all like nervous on how to use it, and like we were like, "Oh my God, is this safe?" And da 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 da. And so funny how it is. All right, hang on.
All right.
Slide that over here, not for me to eat.
What do we got coming up?
but
Oh, you want to see?
I just want to show people.
Okay,
the food.
for sure. So here's what we got.
Hang on a second. It's stuck on this thing. There we go. That's the best I can do.
All right, so here is potatoes and brisket. You can see the brisket.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
good looking brisket.
Oh.
Good smelling too, let me tell you. And then on this side, this is kugel. This is potato kugel.
Oh dang. Okay.
I don't know how it's made. And this is called tsimis. So this is tsimis is like fruit and carrots and potatoes and stuff like that. It's like a date here.
Yeah, the camera's not doing it justice, by the way, because when I'm looking at this in person, it's like ridiculous. Let me slide it over just a little bit here. slide it over here just a little bit. Dang, look at this. Look at this. Look at this brisket. By the way, David, you aren't getting this back.
Oh, no!
I'm just kidding. Here you go. Okay. All right, there we go. There we go. And shout outs to Weird Views of the UltraChen Studio. Woo!
I'm not vegetarian, but I rarely eat meat unless I'm like at home, or even then, pretty rarely. A few times a month, maybe I'll have beef. Like it's rare. It's just not what I prefer. But my mom's brisket is a big exception to that. all right. Let's move on here.
Ready?
Yeah. First of all, who said I don't eat lengua? Somebody out there thinks I don't eat tongue. Let me tell you that I like tongue a lot. I get it on tacos all the time. Tongue is a very traditional Jewish meat as well. I like it. It's pretty good. All right, let's talk about the next thing that we have coming up. It's going to be...
I'm just trying to be a cat right now. I'm
Well,
just being
mission
my
accomplished.
Nathan. I'm being Nathan right now, dude. That's what Nathan does whenever he smells something that I'm eating and he wants to eat it. He just stares at the food all day.
Definitely
Just
right.
looks at the food.
Definitely right. What do you want to get to first? You want to do 5-5? What are we doing here? Esports Awards.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit to talk about this. I don't know
Alright.
if there's really much to say.
I mean, whatever.
Because, there was voting process. There was the fan votes and stuff like that, right? And I guess the FGC just didn't care enough to get a lot of the people.
Was there
up
fan voting?
Wasn't there, or was there not?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ask me if there was fan. I have no idea if there was fan voting. Submit your votes for our 2019 finalists. I went to their website just now.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to give me updates. Holy crap, no. Let's see what the awards are. 2019, first of all, 2019 panel. I'm on their website.com. Cool. People who are
voting on their panel.
People who are up for the 2019 awards. Cool.
What, the people who are up for the awards are on the panel?
Yeah. Yes, they are. For example...
Time to vote for Ultra by David.
That's right. That was a different one.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like Esports Journalist of the Year, for example, includes... Oh, do I not have to get to...
Nobody!
It's not up here. Where's this? Community vote, I think is what I'm looking for, actually. Yeah, that is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Alright, so... Whatever. Yes, this is very confusingly done. But yeah, in conclusion, some of the people who are on the panel are also up for votes. Weird. The reason that I wanted to talk about this is, I've said many times that I think these award shows are dumb. They're self-congratulatory in a way that is just too obscene for me. They're basically vehicles for advertising and for corporate sponsorship.
Right.
And I don't think that they are important in how they deal with things. No. On top of all that, it's very focused on certain things in esports and to the detriment or just avoidance of other things.
Right.
And a perfect example of that is that in the community awards, so I see. So there's separate community awards and industry awards.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So community has...
I see. The community had their own, but the industry has...
What that means is just that there's different sets of awards. So the streamer of the year is part of the community awards.
I see. Gotcha.
But the...
Esports Player of the Year.
Esports Commercial Partner of the Year is in industry awards. And congratulations to one of HyperX, Intel, G Fuel, DHL, Scuff Gaming, State Farm, Red Bull, AT&T, Logitech, and Alienware for being the victor this year. Congrats in advance to all of you. Job well done.
This was the event that Sonic Fox did win Player of the Year last year, right?
That
or
was
that
the Game Awards.
Oh, okay. So this is something different. Okay.
Congratulations to... I can't even get through it.
Wait, Hardware Provider of the Year?
Yeah, Hardware Provider of the Year.
I'll do this. Okay. It's congratulations to Razer, Republic of Gamers, Logitech, Intel, Astro, NVIDIA, Secret Lab, AMD, MSI, Alienware, Scuff Gaming, and HyperX. Congratulations to one of them for being hardware provider of the year.
Find a new rival.
Also, congrats to at least 2 of the people who are up for Esports Journalist of the Year just being on the panel that gets to decide who's up for it anyway. Including this guy and this guy. Anyway, the community side, they have Esports... No, where's... Pro Awards is something
There's a
else.
Pro
Oh my
Awards.
god.
There's a whole
so
third
confusing.
section of categories. Okay. The Pro Awards. Here we go, of casters and coaches.
Cool.
Console Player of the Year.
Cool.
They have a distinction between Console Player of the Year and
They
PC
do indeed,
Player?
friend. They do indeed.
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Console Player of the Year.
You can't even get their name unless you click on
You
them.
have to click on the things, and I don't know any of these people. However, I do know Hungrybox.
Hungrybox. Let's go, Hungrybox.
All right.
Yeah.
And this might be MK Leo. Let me click on it for... Yes, it is.
MK Leo. Yes.
And
Sonic Fox is there.
Sonic Fox.
Yeah, okay,
and other people.
That's, I mean, obviously.
Esports Console Rookie of the Year. Well, you got Tweak, who was already super strong in previous years. Not at all
Rising
new.
Star.
Yeah. Rising Star
Tweak.
2019.
Rising Star Tweak.
Yeah, definitely. This guy, a Bezzy, maybe Beezy could be. Aiden, cool. This guy I just saw on the other one. This is Mo Auba. I don't even know. Oh, and MK Leo, who was already one of the best players in the world. At
MK
Smash as
Leo?
well. MK Rookie of the Year.
Oh, there you go. The names
MK
actually
Leo.
showed up at the top.
That's if you
Click
Oh,
on
I
that.
see.
Yeah,
okay.
okay,
All right.
interesting.
So, Envoy, Simp, Scrub Killa. That's hilarious. Dylan Henderson, and
Scroll up. There you go.
Celium.
There you go.
Anyway, congrats to everybody there.
Yeah, but obviously the one that's seems to be missing from a lot of this is Mr. Arslan Ash.
Arslan Ash. Definitely the most important fighting game player of the year.
Yes.
Now, is that important enough to become part of the Esports Awards? I guess not. But it is it is definitely true that he's the most important fighting game player of the year. I mean, it's not just that he's the best Tekken player of the year, which by itself would obviously make him in the running for fighting game player of the year, right? It's also that this is his first year of international competition, and he dominated, and he's from a country that most of the rest of the world didn't think of as having a top level competitive scene, and yet it turns out actually they're one of the best in the world. Turns out, and we just didn't know. So he has not only made himself clearly one of the best, he's also shown the rest of us that his country is one of the best. To do that is something that almost never has happened in the history of fighting games. So we've always basically known where the good players are.
Right, yeah.
And it's super rare that somebody comes out of the woodwork. Even if they're in a country where everybody knows there's talent, it's even in that case still rare that you're like, oh, somebody in the middle of wherever turns out to be the best. Even that's almost never happened.
Right.
And from Pakistan, he turns out he's like, that's very important
Right.
in fighting game history. So is that important enough for esports awards? I guess not. But from a fighting game perspective, it's super important.
I mean, here's the thing, right? There is still a possibility that it is important enough for esports award,
Okay.
but they just probably didn't know it happened.
Oh,
You know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
for
You know
sure.
what I mean? Like, there just might actually be, they didn't know it happened. And the crazy thing about it is we had someone comment on the fact that, there was no FGC stuff in there, and then we had esportsy guys come on and just be very dissenting and very demeaning.
I thought that fighting games didn't want to be part of esports.
Right,
For example.
yeah, exactly.
This debate, I feel like I said this last year at around the same time. This debate will be misunderstood for eternity
Yes.
on esports side. For eternity.
Right.
And we've been saying the same things since 2009 or 10. I don't know, whenever this discussion began. We would like it if most of the stuff that happens in fighting games is run by fighting game people.
Right.
That's who we want to be in control.
Yeah.
We don't want people who are outsiders taking control of things. Huge for us, right? We want it to be. We want to like maintain the essential characteristics of the FGC,
Right.
as well.
Homegrown, free. The anyone can enter.
Yeah, anyone can enter. Like primarily, at least grassroots driven. Obviously, there's going to be.
Yeah.
It's cool if we have corporate partners, but like they need to be cool with the idea of the grassroots approach, right? These are not like complicated ideas, and we haven't changed them, and
They're just not.
they're just they're not paying attention. I
Well,
guess
that
I
they're
don't
not
know.
paying attention, and
Whatever,
that's
they don't
not,
need
and
to,
that's
but-
not cohesive with a lot of what esports wants to do.
Of course.
It's not that fighting games don't want to be a part of esports. Is we don't want to take in a lot of the things that a lot of the other esports are already seeming like they've already taken in.
Yeah.
They've already living this kind of overly self-glorified life.
Of
you know?
course.
It's like I said, it's one of the reasons why I don't understand after parties. Now, obviously, there's some people who would like to enjoy after parties and stuff like that.
Some people want to go out and drink and dance and stuff. Sure.
Exactly. But, like, for the most part, like, I feel like most of the gamers that I know don't want to do that kind of thing, right? And so, like, they're doing it because this is what cool people do. You know what I mean? As opposed to doing stuff our own way. And, you know, I don't know.
My first experience at like at an esports event was NASL in Orange County in I think 2011. It was quite a while ago, and I hung out at an after party there. We were just up in a hotel room, and I had the distinct sense that it was just like being at a frat party if none of the other people had been to a frat party before. So like it was the same kind of atmosphere of like, oh, excited young people, you're drinking, whatever.
Right.
But like with the like zeal of like a new freshman who's pledging, and it's like, this is wild. I've never been to this situation before. What do you know? Oh my God, I'm here. Like,
we're so cool now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And not like a senior who's like, yeah, we've been dating. It's cool, but like you know.
And that's what I mean.
It was
that's what
super
it
weird.
feels like a lot of the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, like, obviously we're on Twitch, so we're going to get banned. But, like, I know there was that one Twitch party where they had, like, mermaids swimming in, like, a fish tank or something like that.
Was that Twitch?
It was something. I don't know. It
I
was
don't
some
remember.
crazy party, and I'm just
A while
like,
ago, though.
Yeah, and I was just like, who is this for?
Yeah.
Like, at what point was this something that someone was like, gamers want this? You know what I mean? Like, it's just at that point in time. It's like, why are we spending money to have mermaids swimming in a fish tank kind of thing?
Yeah.
At like, why? You know, I don't understand. It's
I don't
like,
know.
that's the whole thing, right? And so that to me is kind of the thing. Like, when we're FGC, you know, it's like, let's just have an after party. Let's just all hang out and play games all day and just be a bunch of dorks, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
one of the reasons why Combo Breaker is so amazing and everyone wants to go there is because it's a 24-hour venue, and that's our after party. We just sit there and play more games.
Right.
You know what I mean? If
Right.
you add drinks to it, it'll probably be that much more fun.
Sure, yeah.
Right? You
Most
know,
people
you
do.
just have to be
Yeah.
careful,
Yeah,
obviously. You know,
naturally.
on top of, like, let's be careful kind of thing.
Of course.
Right? But, you know, like, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like a lot of the things esports is doing is because this is what sports do. Let's franchise with some cities.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Gorillas, right? Like, and then this is what sports do. Hey, this is what cool people do. Hey, this is what like, for me, my whole point of wanting to be FGC and not esports is I just want to stay true to who we are. We grew up in a certain way. We played games like this. We have a fandom of some way. And I just want to maintain that. That's just all it really comes down to. But we would still like the growth. We would
Of
still
course,
like
and
the
that's what
recognition.
We
you
have,
know?
in fact, been working for growth.
Right,
It's just
exactly.
not at the bubbly pace of something like Overwatch League. I don't need these awards to take us into account. I mean, I'm clearly annoyed by it, but it's at the same time, this duel is going on, right? Where I think I don't care about it, and then if they don't put something in there, I'm like annoyed. It's
Yeah.
It's not like
I know what you mean.
I don't
Yeah.
super care about it, but it's like obviously enough that we're talking about it on the show.
Right, yeah.
And I guess it's engagement, right? So part of the idea of a show like this is that it creates engagement. So your eyeballs are like
Yeah.
it's top 10 whatever, right? It's top 10 list. you want to look, what's the top 10 best video games ever, right? We've seen this 1,000 times. You've seen this. Which games do they have? Well, they better have my favorite games, right? Even if you 2 minutes ago you weren't like, I hope there's a new top 10 list that I get to argue with. You don't care about it, but it's just built to like
I'm
annoy
always
you.
looking for the next top 10 list. Dude.
If it didn't come out, you would never think to yourself.
I can tell you that you're stupid for not putting Tetris as number 1.
Yeah.
That's my whole reason for existing.
So I mean, whatever. It's just an inherently dumb thing. But at the same time, yeah, I have to admit it's a little annoying that even Arslan Ash isn't there.
Right? Yeah. It's a weird.
It's a
situation.
bait. It's a good bait, and it's hard not to get baited.
See, and there was also someone even mentioned this, but there was that they showed that one Twitch after party with all the drinks that were just sitting on the table. Did you see that?
I certainly did.
And like people were like, "This is the grossest thing," or like, "I."
So it was at a bar, right? There was a partner party at TwitchCon, and they had a bunch of open beers just sitting there. You could take a beer. So the idea clearly is like, hey, here's free beer. Here you go, everybody. Like, it's intended to be nice, but they didn't think about it for 2 minutes.
Right.
And somebody, I heard maybe not at the same event, but people did get roofied at TwitchCon. They did get roofied at TwitchCon. So it's a danger, like it's a threat, and it's more likely to happen if there's just an open beer sitting there. If this had been the same thing but a can that you could just take, problem totally solved. But they didn't.
I think someone was even mad too. Like they were like, "Oh, people are making too big of a deal out of it," and then someone got roofied, and then they just didn't even apologize about it.
So big L for me. Oh man, the tweet where you're talking about this fella Keemstar. He was the one who had the dumbass tweet that was about how it was overreacting to have all these open beers, and then somebody got roofied, which is not at all funny. And his tweet about it was the most. Do you know Drill on Twitter? Do you know Wint?
Oh yeah.
It was the most unintentionally hilarious Drill tweet that I've seen in a long time, where he turns the fact that people got roofied into, and I quote, "So big L for me," because he had said that it wouldn't be a big deal, and then it was. Big L for me. I'm gonna be saying that phrase a lot. It's so perfectly
big L for me, dude.
Yeah, it's so oblivious. It's so stupid that if somebody like Drill, a genius, had written it, you would think, great parody. Nobody'd ever be that dumb. And then this idiot did it. Oh my god.
Oh man. God, I'm not owned. Yep. Dude, and the crazy thing is, like, Keemstar has like 2-point-something million followers or something
I don't know
like
what
that.
to do.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I have no knowledge of that.
Sure, some people in this chat right now have to be Keemstar fans or something, and they're like, "You're wrong about him."
Totally.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's such a tweet. Anyway, there's just a lot of idiotic stuff going on in that sort of world, and I hate to say this.
I don't want to make it sound like that I think I'm smarter than everyone else, because clearly I'm not.
No,
right?
just regular people, yeah.
But honestly, a lot of what esports really does feel like to me is all the people who were bullied are now on top, and they're like, "Hey, we're on top. We're the cool kids now. Let's do the cool shit." You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, that's how it feels to me.
It is. It's about convincing their dads that it's sports. Yeah, the whole thing is about that.
Yeah, that's how it feels to me.
I totally agree
and
with
it drives me nuts, because I'm one of those people that, like, I'm like, you know, to a fault almost, I'm super emotional, so I'm just gonna cry. I don't care if, you know, it's like whatever, like if people don't consider it manly for a dude to cry, whatever. I don't care about that. I want to be true to who I am, right? And so, like, that's why this whole kind of thing bothers me a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I get frustrated that it seems like everyone's doing stuff because this is what the cool people did, not because this is what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be a billionaire sports owner. I want to be a this. I want to have a franchise. I want to throw this party. I want to have live mermaids swimming in a tank. You know, it's just like, I don't know. It's just, anyways.
Well, frat parties were pretty cool, so I get it. I mean, frat parties are not, being in a frat is like half burden and half fun. Like, it's not, it's cool, I guess, but you have to pick the right set of dudes, and if you don't, you got a bunch of idiots with you. So, I mean, I joined a frat that was at a nerd school. At this school, a bunch of nerds. Everybody was a nerd there. And my frat was like, we had like, this is true, we had study night. Like, So it's my frat experience was definitely not like the hardcore
Yeah.
frat experience.
Dude, I didn't even know. Crack Prom was like, stop making fun of Dacid. I was like, how am I making fun of Dacid? And he mentioned the mermaids, and I was like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does want the mermaids. I forgot. So, yeah. Dude, nerds.
We went to a different school one time, and we're just hanging out like football game or something, and there was some other school or other frat around from that school, and we were talking about whatever, and I was like, yeah, I'm part of this frat at Berkeley, and I was like, it's a really cool bunch of guys. They're really sick, and then the guy was like, yeah, I bet they're sick at calculus. And I was like, is that a burn?
And you were like, yeah.
Yeah. Like it was, and he had no idea what to do, Like for him, like the fact of like burn, you guys aren't idiots, was like that's the end. The end burn that's the end game. But I was just like, yeah. And there's no retort.
He was like, well, good. That's what
Congratulations.
I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
That was it.
Burn, you are smart. Oh, God. Anyways, this is kind of veering off course. I mean, it's gone back to the whole esports versus FGC thing again, but that's just the clarification, right? It's not we don't want to be a part. We want the recognition, we want the growth, we want the business opportunities, all that stuff like that. It's just I don't want to do it like we're trying to be like some fake party. I don't know.
In the ways that we would like to do it. I mean, that's what essentially it comes down to.
So Ryan Hart is on the panel. Okay, I'm sure he voted for Arslan Ash. Then he probably put in the vote. He had to have.
I guess. Do I know anybody? I mean, I know a lot of these people, but... Oh, yeah. There's Ryan.
I think that's Logan Sama, right? And that one's Logan Sama? And I think that one's Logan Sama, too, right?
Dude, can I tell you about one of my favorite tweets that I have tweeted lately?
Oh, no!
So the website is... It's got this very light background, right? White background is very common in websites nowadays. And so, given all, I was like, I understand that it's very common for websites to have white backgrounds, all white backgrounds, but quite a statement to have so much all white in the foregrounds as well. And it's a slow one, but I think it's really good. I think that's a good tweet.
Damn.
I mean, you just look at. Shouts to Ryan for being.
That's not funny at all, David. That is
only black guy
completely racist, and that is terrible.
Find a new rival.
Oh my God, I can't laugh at these jokes anymore, dude.
Anyway, whatever. I mean, none of us were thinking about esports versus FGC 5 days ago.
Right.
But the point of this is exactly what we're kind of giving into, which is the engagement aspect of it.
Right.
So, enough, I guess. But yeah.
Okay.
Fun.
Anyways, let's move on.
Arslan should be winner.
Yes.
All right. What else is going on?
5-5 matchup, or at least he should be nominated, because clearly there could be some other. There could be some other crazy story that we don't know about.
Fair enough.
Right? There could be this guy from, like literally in the middle of nowhere, like he was on this unknown, uncharted island in the Pacific Ocean, and he came out and he won like CS:GO, and it's like, oh my God, he did it by practicing by drawing in the sand, like, and pretending to play, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he won, so he should win over Arslan Ash. We don't know, but clearly Arslan should be at least in the conversation.
Totally. Also, wow, that's a risky game for an immigrant to pick. The alt-right of esports? That's risky.
It's actually true.
Little glasses. All right, what else is going on? What do we got? Oh yeah, I got the thing. So, do you want to talk about a 5-5 matchup?
Sure.
You wanted to mention... Oh, let's do the fan one first? Or what?
We could do the full one first, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I don't know how much I want to get on this, because, like, I don't think it's fair. I would rather have, like, Sajam on the show to talk about it.
Okie doke.
But, he did mention something about fighting games not being any harder than any other games, that, when people say fighting games are the hardest to learn, etc., that it's just not true.
Okay.
And I guess from my side of it, I don't think he's right.
Okay.
I actually do think fighting games are the hardest to learn, but I don't know if it's the hardest to learn. I agree with what he says. Obviously, games like League and StarCraft and all these games are really complicated. They have all these crazy systems and everything, and they're really hard to learn and to play and everything like that. But I think, honestly, fighting games are hardest to play from the psychological aspect. People have talked about this before. There's no team aspect. It's all your fault. It's hard to blame other people and everything like that. There's one thing that I've talked about on my own stream a few weeks ago, and nobody addresses this. And I think this is probably one of the biggest key factors in what makes games easier to learn.
Okay.
And this is going to sound weird.
Okay.
But one of the reasons why fighting games are so hard to learn and so hard to play psychologically and so hard to stick through is you can't run away.
Okay.
There's no disengagement in fighting games, right? I was talking to somebody else about that, and they were like, this is true, because even when I tried to play shooters and I was really terrible, eventually I figured out how to just like run behind things and dodge and hide between them. You can go attack somebody in League of Legends and they're beating you up, and you see it now, even in the high-level tournaments. What do they start doing? They start running like hell because they're trying to get away. And sometimes you get away. Sometimes you just get away and you get behind your tower, or you have the teleport, the warp, or something like that, right? Like you can, okay, Storm is literally off screen. That's another story. But like all these games, there is the natural inherent nature to be able to run away and survive, right? And when you watch Core A Gaming's video where he said that everybody who fights in real life just kind of swings, and he has that little Bart video where he's swinging the arms, and he says that's what people do in fighting games, is because the runaway option doesn't exist. You can't even scroll the screen anymore. And then when you do, you get to a corner and you're in a worse position now. So literally there's no way to disengage to the point where you feel comfortable. There's no point in a fighting game where you feel safe. You know what I mean? You're always engaged with them. And I feel like that's such a big psychological thing about fighting games that don't exist in a lot of other genres. You know what I mean? You just don't have that opportunity, except for some bad matchups, obviously. But that, like, Magneto is just going to push Hager away all day. That's another story. But I feel like that there's a big element of that exists in the gaming. So,
first of all, I learned over the weekend, yesterday, at Rosh Hashanah services, that Hagar means the stranger in Hebrew.
Oh, dang.
Hagar.
Okay. Did you eat all of the brisket, or did you leave any?
There's still some there.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm going to be calling Hagar the stranger from now on.
Okay.
To go back to the point, I think that it's, while, yeah, I mean, it's true that you can't just run away in fighting games. Nobody plays it like that in any games until you are at a certain level where you understand what's going on. When you're playing low-level shooters, when you're playing low-level League, I haven't played every game, but I assume that all the other games are the same. People are rushing in and shooting and whatever, and then they're rushing in and they're trying to attack with their hero or champion or whatever. And it's not until like you get to a certain level that you understand, like, well, you shouldn't dive there. You shouldn't, like, you should back up.
Right. Yeah.
But that's not level 1. So I think that it's not true that at some low level that people do escape a lot. I think it's much more that they are also going in. So basically, yeah, I don't think that happens.
But the thing is, the instinct carries in. The instinct kicks in at some point in time. You do start running away. When I played Splatoon, I used to run in on everything and I would get destroyed.
Yeah.
And eventually I was like, I gotta stop this.
Of
and
course,
I started running.
That's what I'm saying. At level 1, you're not doing that. You will have to learn first.
Right. But the thing is, that is learned through pure instinct. Because just naturally, you're like, I'm getting slaughtered, now I'm running away. There's this fear that kicks in. And when the fear kicks in, there are moments that you can get to a point where the fear goes away. Because now I'm behind a wall, or I disengage and he turned around and started going after someone else. You get this, feeling. That just doesn't exist in fighting games. It just doesn't exist in fighting games at low to beginner low levels. And you're just constantly getting mauled by somebody, and so it's so uncomfortable. I like I said, I know in the past year or two I've gotten really into this whole psychology comfort level thing of fighting games, because I've been really trying to pinpoint on what the problem with fighting games is, why people have trouble. And I just think that there's just so lack of comfort in fighting games that it makes it harder to play.
I just think that doesn't come up in any game until you get to a certain level of knowledge.
Right.
So it's true in fighting games that there is no disengage,
Right.
but it's true in other games that you don't disengage. Effectively meaning that in their mindsets as the low level players, there is no disengage either. You just go in, and it's not until you learn to a certain level, or maybe like you have sort of an understanding of what competitive games are like. So maybe it takes you less time to understand that you should run away sometimes.
Right.
But for other people, that's not something that you do until like considerably later, like higher up. So I just don't really think that's true, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, I can see whenever I see like people who don't know how to play fighting games playing fighting games.
Yeah, they're mashing.
There's just a lot of panic,
Of course.
right? And there's no way to deal with that panic. There's no outlet to that panic. And that's kind of where I feel like that's where a lot of it comes in.
But I think that's we're talking about lower level play.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even to mid-level play, like a lot of people get to silver just by doing uppercuts all the time and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Doing unsafe things, not really actually, like they can get to that point in a lot of games, but eventually they understand to get better. You know, for other games, the instinct can get you better, but I don't think the instinct works in fighting games. I don't think the natural instinct of, flight applies.
No, I mean, as you said, you can't just get out, you can't just run away, but I don't know. I'm not sure silver's a good example.
Yeah, maybe not
mid-level
silver
play.
at this point in time. Not silver. Yeah.
Anyway, I basically agree with Steven. I don't think that fighting games are some inherently harder genre to play or to learn. I think other games are really hard to learn in a lot of instances. And I also think it's true that, I'm not sure if this is in the same video, but I heard him talking about this, that you don't need to do the hard stuff immediately, right? So people jump into a fighting game and they're like, all right, I gotta learn everything. But in fact, you could just play with individual buttons. You don't need to have a Dragon Punch until like level 2. I mean, whatever theoretical scale.
Right.
That's not something you need immediately. So have fun and enjoy yourself, as people do in the bottom levels of every other game. And then if it's something that you like and you enjoy, then you put more time in and you start to understand more of what the strategy is about and how mechanically things work and yada yada. But I think that it's true that you don't need to do the even things like Dragon Punches until like a little bit later.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, when we were learning fighting games, we weren't doing it. It took us a month to even know how to do a Dragon Punch consistently.
Oh yeah, at the start, yeah, of course.
Yeah. But that's just the thing, is we were all learning at that same pace at the same time.
That was a little different story, right? Yeah.
There. But I mean, even still though, what a lot of these other games do is they kind of build a lot of that into the game, right? Like League of Legends, I never even got Warp because I never got to level 12, right? So I didn't even have that option, right? So I never got access to it. And, other games like StarCraft or whatever, you start weak. You have to build up, and you're not even fighting the other person, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So there's just, in fighting games, you're just thrust into the situation right away.
Yeah.
It's like I said, there's just no calming point.
I mean, you're right about that. That's true. Yeah.
And I think that's underrated.
I just think that other people in other games at low levels are not playing. They're not playing calmly, regardless. Regardless of the game. To address the point of fighting games as being hard because they are, I think what Paulo said. Let me see. It was I think a good encapsulation of what the point usually is. Oh man, is Twitch already screwed? I hate how this thing works.
This one right here.
Yeah. The main issue with fighting games is being out on an island. You either win or lose. You can't get carried at all. Other games usually have someone good carrying others outside of top level. Even in esports, most teams are carried by 1 to 3 players with others. Yeah, I mean, a lot of games are team games. That's true. And I think for all of us that's been... Like, that seems like an obvious pinpoint.
Yeah.
For sure. I definitely agree with that. At the same time, for a long time, StarCraft was the most popular game.
Yeah.
Now it's not anymore, and maybe that's because at that time team games weren't such a big option, right? There were very few comparatively, really only shooters. Now there's a lot of other stuff. So, but the point is still that like it has been in the past that the most popular genre has also been a 1v1. So I don't know that it's like inherently a fatal flaw, but obviously it's true that the most popular games tend to be team based.
That's where my thought process kicks in. StarCraft, you can do 1v1 because you can play the game, you can build units, you can have success, and then you lose. But for the large part, you weren't... Like, in fighting games, if you don't know what you're doing, you just literally get mauled. Like, you just don't even move. You die, right? You're not even... And there's no way to instinctively run away from that guy. When I'm learning Tekken, one of the hardest things for me is when my opponent is literally mashing and attacking me. Whenever I fight player who, like... And I know someone argued this as well, but it's 100% true. Like, if I fight stronger players, I usually do better than when I fight bad people in Tekken a lot of the times because they're just hitting buttons.
No, I know what you mean.
And I don't know how to defend against that yet, right? And so, like, I have trouble doing that because I can't disengage from them. I can't get away from them. I even think that's kind of one of the reasons why Smash is actually easier to get into, because on some of the bigger stages, you can kind of run away from people.
But people just don't do that at low levels. They really don't.
And it's funny because, I don't know, maybe I'm different than people, but, like, I feel like a lot of people feel this way because when I played Olaf in Smash... When it came out, he got mad at me because I was running away the whole entire time. Okay. I was never engaging. Okay. Because that's kind of how I learned the game.
Okay.
I did run away a lot. You know, I always tried to get away and then re-engage. Get away and re-engage. Okay. You know what I mean? I can't do that in a fighting game. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? And I think that's very kind of different. So.
But, I mean, again, it's true that you cannot. I just think that at low levels, people aren't doing that anyway.
I don't know. I feel like it happens more often than you think, though, just like I said, because instinct kicks in. You know, even if it takes them a little bit to get past lower levels, I feel like the instinct kicks in.
Certainly once you're at mid-level play, people are doing the stuff.
Right. Yeah. But that's the thing. Is like, what instinct is going to kick in a fighting game that'll make you better? I don't think there is one.
Maybe this is a better angle of attack, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Is like there's no instinct that can make you...
the runaway is the instinct that is the useful one to point out, but it may be true that there's not like an instinctual... here's what you should do situation. I don't know. Maybe there is too. I just haven't thought about this before.
Right. Yeah, and that's why everybody just wakes up DP all the time. So, yeah. Let me see. So the way James is describing runaway, and again, I'm bad at words. Every time I say things, it always comes out the wrong way, and it takes me the next day to realize how to say it properly. So let me see what him tab says. He says, the way to describe run away, I think it's less specifically run away and more you are immediately forced to stay engaged with the opponent. You are immediately affected by the skill cap in a directly observable manner.
I get it.
Yeah.
That sounds like what you're saying to me.
Yeah. In a way, yeah. I mean, it's just, I think it's just one of those things. Another thing, and you know, this is no knock on Sajam as well. I just want to move to a kind of a slightly different point. But I think Sajam also suffers from super smart professor syndrome. Okay. Where he's just so goddamn good at fighting games. Yeah. I mean, he picks up fighting games in like 2 days.
He's fast.
It's ridiculous.
For sure. Yeah.
I think if he wasn't a commentator, I've always said this, I think he would be a top player in like 4 different games.
I mean, he was getting top 8s and things. I think he's very
exactly.
good. Yeah,
so I think he is actually so... I don't think he realizes how much better... he is at fighting games on a natural level than a lot of other people. Yeah. So that it's easy for him. I feel like it's the Wayne Gretzky, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson as the coach.
Totally. Yeah.
Kind of thing, you know.
I also, I mean, he's certainly older now, but he's also still young compared to both of us. When I was younger, I was like that. And it took me many years to, eat the meat. It's good. Let me know. Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, I totally understand the perspective of coming very naturally to things and not thinking about why other people don't do the same. I get that. But when at least in my case, you get a little older and like understand that there's things that you yourself are not picking up immediately, just maybe less obviously. So it becomes a little bit more intelligible. But yeah, I get that. And I think that's probably is part of what's going on. Yeah.
And again, it's weird to say this is not a knock on Sajam. What I'm basically doing is just saying how good he is at
I get it, dude.
Games.
Yeah, for sure.
It is a tough situation. It's a tough situation. It's kind of where I've always felt like one of my strengths lies. Back from my FAQ writing days, I knew that I knew how to write stuff, and I knew when someone looked at it what part they wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? So I knew what part to dig into and stuff like that. It's kind of where I feel like probably my biggest strength as a commentator is as well. So, it's just one of those things that it's always you have to be careful when you're super good at something.
I agree with you. I think that's true. I mean, that's part of why sometimes when we have these conversations, I say that I know that I'm in too deep to like really. Right. I say that sometimes. So I feel like I'm in too deep to really be able to have an outside perspective on what the problem is, which I think is true. I've been playing fighting games in this case for too long to like really know what it's like as an outsider to come in and try it again.
Right.
I don't remember.
Like obviously, obviously, I'm gonna sit here and say things like Tekken is the hardest game to learn, and then Sonic Fox is like, I'm top 8, and I just picked it up like 2 weeks ago.
Don't.
But the thing is, there are those people out there that are just exceptional.
Sonic Fox is particularly exceptional to me.
Exactly. So
Fox is pretty out there in terms of that. Yeah.
No, it's true, Boats and Joes. Like, I am probably underestimating how hard other games are psychologically as well. Yeah, but there's a lot of things that kind of comfort you in there as well.
I mean, I think that it would be good if you, and you don't need to. I mean, I wouldn't to learn another game to the level that you learn fighting games, right? I mean, that takes a lot of time, so I don't know that you need to, but...
I'm going through it with Teppen right now, okay? I am going through a lot of the growing pains.
Okay, fair enough,
I'm going through so many... I am coming from fighting games and not a CCG player.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to someone online, they're like, the balance is really good in this game.
I saw you talking about this.
And I was like, I don't know, there's like 4 good decks, right? Like, there's 4 top-tier decks. He's like, right, that's amazing balance. And I was like,
yeah,
that's odd. Like that was different to me, and it was really kind of neat to read that because I was like, oh yeah, because in fighting games, like that's terrible, but like in other things, it's not one deck dominating the whole entire thing. Right. You know what I mean? And it's actually kind of crazy.
So to have that outside perspective, I think is really useful.
Yeah,
I have never been top level in anything else other than fighting games. To be fair, maybe Brood War for a little while.
Okay,
but. So I'm hesitant to say anything about the strength of other games that I haven't put a lot of time into. And I think that I usually have not put enough time to say for sure that one is harder than the other.
Right.
But the people who have learned those games feel that fighting games are very hard and that theirs are easy, and I feel exactly the opposite. And I kind of feel that we're probably as smart, like our scene is not smarter, right? I mean, so you take that and you think, okay, well, that probably means that there's some parity in terms of how maybe in absolute sense one is harder, but I really don't think it's by much, if at all.
Yeah. I mean, again, Boats and Joes points out, he thinks that I'm focused on the psychology and Sajam is more focused on the robot stuff. I think we agree on most points, but are placing different levels of importance on them. I did say at the very beginning that I don't think fighting games are harder to learn system-wise, mechanically, learning all the little nuances of that particular game. I agree with Sajam on that part, 100%. Like, I think League of Legends as, okay, I need to buy this thing, I need to have this build, I need to do this is this strategy, this is kind of, I need to last kill every minion and all that stuff. All that stuff is just as hard. But, yeah, I am placing the emphasis on the psychological portion because I think that is the difference of why fighting games are not as popular as a lot of other esports, because the psychological part is so burdenish. There is this burden on you from there. Even on the CCG aspect, when I'm sitting here playing Teppen, I've definitely had games where I'm like, first hand, this guy's dead. I just looked at my hand and I'm like, I know this guy is dead. Yeah. Or I've had matches where every time they played something big, I had the ability to kill it.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there playing and I'm just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like destroying him like 30-0 and I'm like, this sucks. Yeah. Like, I recognize it, but you can get kind of carried by RNG, you can get carried by teammates, you can get carried by just having the chance to, like if you're in StarCraft, you're playing StarCraft, it's 1-on-1, you have your favorite units, you build them all because you guys haven't engaged each other, and you build them, you're like, yes, I built my units, and then you die, but you had a success, you know what I mean? I just feel like in fighting games, when you're not good, you don't ever have any success. Like, you're not going to get the golden hammer.
I don't think that you would
and
think
kill
of...
the opponent,
You wouldn't think of building your army as success, I think. In StarCraft and in Warcraft 3, there were very few like individual successes. Maybe if you won an engagement, but you didn't win the whole match. But usually, if you win an engagement, you're gonna win the match, unless the opponent's like really good and they are able to make a comeback. But that's less common.
Okay.
So, yeah, anyway, I think that's probably not super big.
Hanzo obviously hasn't played a lot of online Mortal Kombat yet, so he says fighting games don't have 3 children screaming slurs into my ear.
Well, I liked what somebody said up there was that if you're playing a team game, it's true that you can get carried, but you also can let your teammates down, and that's not nice.
Right,
I've been there.
the thing about it is that gives their friends the impetus to be like, stop feeding the enemies.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Please
Maybe you get
run
some
away
feedback.
more
Yeah,
often.
maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you're playing fighting game, like that's what happened to me when I first played League. I played League with a bunch of guys and I just kept dying.
Yeah.
And they're like, James, you're feeding them.
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
die,
yeah,
you
yeah.
give them experience and blah, blah. And I was like, ew.
Yeah, you're right.
But when
That's
you're
true.
sitting there playing fighting games by yourself and you're just dying over and over again, no one's like, dude, stop
I get the point. It's true.
jumping, kind of thing. So,
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's more complicated than whether it's like psychologically difficult.
yeah.
But I think that it may be true that there's something about instinct that isn't there. Instinct, I think, is maybe to mash in a fighting game, and that's not what you do,
I mean,
right?
it's-
But that's
it's the Bart spinning.
is that because you're trying? In other games, you can run away. I just don't think so. I'm not sure what the reason is for that instinct, but it's clearly there,
Right.
and I don't know how to. I don't know what the source.
Yeah,
is.
it's not even necessarily specifically the concept of running away. It's just that there is an instinctual fight or flight nature built-in mechanic in humans that applies to other games that I just don't think apply to fighting games. Whether it was run away, whether it was I could jump away and fly, right? Obviously we can't fly, but whatever it was, it works in other games that it doesn't work in fighting games. Not specifically the act of running away. The act of running away is symbolic of
I understand.
the instinct that works. So I'm just trying to explain it better because, like I said, I'm terrible at
No, I'm getting it.
explaining
It's cool.
it right the first time. Let's just put it that way. So
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure I agree, but there may be something there.
yeah. Okay. All right. Let's
All right,
go to
this
the
guy
viewer
died.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry. Let's see here.
Forgot to charge it again. My
No
bad.
problem. I don't know why I closed it the first time. Here we go. We had viewer questions. Although we didn't get any new questions.
Correct. So instead, I just compiled the questions from previous weeks and had people vote on that. So what happened?
So what you did was compiled a bunch of the old ones, and the ones that we got here were, over the years, do you find diminishing or increasing satisfaction in learning new fighting games?
Okay.
Okay. You didn't see the tweet asking for questions? Weird.
Really?
Someone said that, so someone else said they wanted to submit a question but forgot.
Oh.
No
okay.
worries.
Well, all right.
It's fine. Second one you brought back was, which animal do you want to see more of in fighting games? Got 0 votes.
0 votes.
Zero
Yeah, and
votes.
James and I were talking about this before. We'll definitely make sure to retweet that
Yeah,
tweet more in the future. Definitely.
What animal do I want to see in fighting games? I want to see this. Okay, yeah, she's running away.
She's running away, yeah.
She's running away. Third one was, what are some options for filling in breaks between matches for viewers besides ads or commentators struggling to stall? Fourth one is, what do you think should be standard for tournament payouts? Fifth one was, how has the meta evolved for Samurai Showdown so far? And 6 is, what do you think of low-tier heroes?
Uh-huh.
The winner of this one was, over the years, do you find diminishing or increasing satisfaction in learning new fighting games?
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I felt like we did talk about, or maybe not.
We didn't talk about
okay,
this
we
one.
didn't talk about this one.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
Okay. Over the years, do you find diminishing or increasing satisfaction in learning new fighting games?
Me first? I would say increasing. Because it's become easier. And so I find that there's less time of the struggle of like trying to get my mind to do something.
Right.
And that's the part that I don't enjoy as much. I don't want the struggle of like remembering to be like, oh yeah, my anti-air button is yeah, or whatever, right? The little things that you need to sort of build into your brain. Over the years, I've just become better at like picking that stuff out and doing it. I mean, it's not perfect, right? Still, there's time, but it's much less time than when I was first learning fighting games. So I can more readily get into the stage of, okay, let's find the cool tech.
Yeah.
All right, let's play the spacing game. Let's try the mix-ups. Like, I can more quickly get into that. So I'm more quickly into the interesting meat of a fighting game than I was in the past. So for me, it's cool.
Get to the brisket of a fighting game.
Yeah.
The brisket. I agree with that, actually.
Okay.
I do think it's a lot easier now because you know what to look for. It's not obtuse anymore. I mean, I did a video a long time ago about how to open up your opponent.
Okay.
Like, it's interesting now that when I pick up a game, obviously if it's something completely wildly different like Tekken, which is very different actually, it's hard, and I gotta kind of have to relearn it a little bit. But for the most part, whenever I pick up a new fighting game and I see a character and I see what the systems are of the game, I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna want to try to open them up with higher lows. A high-low mix-up. Or I'm going to try to open them up with a left-right mix-up. Oh, I got to open them up with a throw-block mix-up. Or I'm going to open them up with chip damage. Get them scared by chip damage. Like, you have a mind in it that makes it so that, like you said, you can get to the brisket part a lot easier and actually enjoy the fun part of fighting games. The only caveat I'll add to that is that the reason why I feel like that there is a little bit diminishing for me right now is just because there's too many games. I can't devote enough. I don't have enough time to devote to all the games that I want to play. But that has nothing to do with this question.
Yeah.
That is a completely side thing. So there are aspects right now of me trying to learn fighting games that are where I seem super frustrated or I seem like angry all the time. One, that's how I am all the time. Yeah. But two, a lot of it is exacerbated by the fact that I feel pressured to get better faster because I know I don't have the time to spend on the game.
Interesting. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to get better at Tekken because, like, part of me is like, I need to get better faster because I can't play this like I did all the other fighting games where I could just sit there and play it every day in between classes or during classes or, you know, or after.
Instead of classes.
Instead of classes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I had that. Even when I first got a job, I would go home and me and my roommates and my brother, we would just sit there and play fighting games all day. I don't have that anymore. So now I have... Time is one of the scariest things to me. Mm-hmm. And so when I know I don't have the time to do things, I think it puts me into a little bit of a panic.
Interesting. So because you have less time and you feel that you need to learn faster, you end up learning less fast.
Or I don't enjoy the learning process as much.
Okay.
Because before it would be like, oh, I get this is cool. Now I'm just like, God damn it, I can't get this. Why does this not make sense to me? And like, it's frustrating. Like it levels up the frustration. I don't think I learn faster or slower. Okay. I just, because I'm a quantity player, I know it requires time. I'm just frustrated because parts of me feel like I'm never gonna get good at this game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you know what? I may never become a decent Tekken player. And that pisses me off because I am enjoying the game and I want to play it. You know what I mean? So it's tough. It's tough that way. So
I like how Kamala is a cop phrased it. You don't want to have to learn how to learn. You want to just learn. That's my feeling.
Yes. Agreed with that 100%.
Well,
yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's exactly right. So, do you want to have anything extra to add or anything like that? Or
no, I think in conclusion that I'm having a better time now even than in the past.
Okay.
That's also just kind of how I think about things.
Dude.
Though. I don't have a great memory for the negative things that have happened in life, right. Which on the one hand is cool, and on the other hand means that I think sometimes I lose perspective about how good I was also, how bad things were in the past. So.
I mean, Death Metal Head.
I am enjoying it more.
Death Metal Diamond says this: "Oh my God, James, you've transformed this hobby into a chore."
Yeah.
And it is because I feel rushed to learn things now. I don't feel like I can take my time anymore because I don't feel like I have the time to learn. And so there is that aspect of it that has kind of made me, you know, it does feel a little bit like a chore because I don't have the... Like, I just recently started playing the keyboard again.
Oh, nice.
I just sat down and started playing the piano
that's awesome.
again. Dude, oh, God, it feels so good.
I bet.
Right? It feels so great to do that. But the thing is, like, I'm trying to learn a song, and I'm taking my time on it, and it's just nice, and it feels great. And I have this realistic expectation on how fast I'm going to learn it and stuff like that. And I know I'm not going to... I have no thoughts of ever becoming, like, this grand pianist or something like that. With fighting games, it's tough because at one point in time, I was super good at fighting games, and now I'm not. And I don't have the natural instincts like some other people, like a Sonic Fox or Justin Wong has.
Of course.
I'm a person of habit, and so it really has kind of exacerbated that frustration. It's weird. So No, we're just talking about whether it's more fun or less fun to learn fighting games these days. Weirdly enough, even though this doesn't sound like it.
Well, there you go. That's my
Yeah,
thought.
no one else is racing to get good and compete the song with you. That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, but I agree. It's more fun now.
Yeah, absolutely more fun. Like the times where I sit down, like as much as like I keep coming back to Tekken because I enjoy it.
I know.
And a lot of the things that I'm learning are cool. It's just like, oh, that makes total sense, and that's like some of the biggest joys that
Nice,
you
man.
have in fighting games. So.
Okay.
Well, what do you want to do for the?
I'd love to talk about the bottom one there.
What do you think about low tier heroes? Okay. Go easy on me, David.
On
Go
you?
easy. Oh, that's true. You were a Q
Jeez.
player. You were a Q player.
I was playing a
yeah.
worse character than you were.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I played Q. I mained Q for many years, from about 2002 to 2008 or 9. And Q is not the worst character in Third Strike, but probably the third worst or so. Very bad character in the context of that game. And at the time, I had very strong feelings on not wanting to switch. I got way too deep into it. I was like, just as in life, I wouldn't want to sell out and,
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to do that in the game either. And I was just like, it is a game. So, but at the time, that was my feeling. And in retrospect, I caused myself a lot of negativity in doing that. There were many times when I thought, I would travel to a tournament. I'd maybe go to a local or regional or something like that. And know, as I was driving there with friends, that my friends were probably going to get top 8, and I was probably not.
Right.
And it was in large part because of the character, because in the few times when we would play other games, I'd be as good as they were.
Right.
And then we would play Third Strike, or I'd be winning Super Turbo tournaments at C3, right? And then I'd go to Third Strike and just get assed out, and that felt terrible. But I made it worse on myself by insisting that I play this bum of a character. And I wish that I hadn't done that. I think that was a big part of why I temporarily hated Third Strike for a while. I think I just got sick of that, of the losing aspect of it. And then when I did try Chun-Li and I made top 8 immediately at Family Fun, the difference that was so clear in my outcome was also very frustrating. To know that I just spent the last 5 years playing this trash can, when in fact I could have just been doing well the whole time. That sucked. So now when I see other people trying to stick to a character, it's even worse, because at that time to win a tournament meant that maybe you got $50 or $100. And it was nice, but it was not game or life changing.
Right.
In this context, if you're not playing a good character, you won't win $100,000.
Me and Doomsnake talked about you.
I've talked with Doomsnake about
I know.
this. Yeah.
That's why we were talking. We were like, Mr. David always tells him to switch. So.
Yeah. Because I want him and other people to be able to win the big money. There's just too much on the line. It's not just a game anymore. You have to enjoy it, right? It can't be a chore for you, or you're not going to do well. But if you aren't giving yourself a chance to actually really compete, why are you doing it?
Right.
I really think that's what it comes down to. And by being a low-tier hero, you're hurting those chances. You're making yourself feel worse. It's just a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it also depends on if there is big money to win.
Well, that's right, of course.
Yeah. If we're playing Super Turbo and it is $100 tournament.
Oh, dude, if it's still like that, of course, different story. But for most big games that come out nowadays, you have some pro tour that you could be winning stuff on.
I mean, Proud Soul asks is an interesting. Do you see your past self when you see guys who are low tier heroes?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's.
I see people struggling to make top 8s. Absolutely right.
Yeah. It's weird. Like for me, being a low tier hero was always about just being different. It wasn't even about using low tier. It was just about using something that nobody else did. I just liked being unique.
So for me, the importance wasn't that it was low tier. It was that I was the character that I had picked. Oh. And my character happened to be low tier. And I wasn't playing him because he sucked. In fact, when I picked the game up, I didn't know whether he was good or not.
Right.
It was just that I liked him a lot, and so I didn't want to switch away from the character I liked. So it was loyalty. But the fact that he was low was not why I picked him.
Right.
I wish that I hadn't done that.
Yeah, because here's the tricky part, right? If there was a top tier character that nobody played but me, I would enjoy it.
Okay.
Because nobody played that character. But the thing about it is, if they're top tier, everyone plays that character, right? My brain tricks me into thinking that whatever becomes popular is not fun anymore. this is also what I've discovered thanks to Teppen.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
There's clearly 4 best decks out there right now. It's MVC, it's like MVC 2.
Okay.
There's the 3 best decks, and then there's this guy over here like poking in,
Okay.
basically. Right? There's the Forrigan deck.
Yeah.
There's the Rathalos deck.
Yeah.
And then there's Wesker. Almost Wesker anything,
Yeah,
basically.
Wesker's very good.
And then there's Shinku Hadouken, which is just kind of sitting there
see
on the
that.
side, right? So that's kind of the 4 strong ones, although a few other ones are creeping in there,
Yeah, for
which
sure.
is really cool. And I built a Wesker deck. I've built a Rathalos deck. I've built, I don't have a Forrigan deck, right?
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to play them. Because somehow in my brain, it's like, if I play this, it's just not fun. I like playing this Resonance deck. I like playing this deck because it's fun. And I don't know why. I don't know why my brain tricks me into thinking that. Because,
I don't know. I mean, I think that's not like mysterious, really. I think that's totally understandable.
Yeah, but it's just like, I bet you Akuma's fun to play. I bet you Ibuki's fun to play because they've got really dirty
I think Ibuki
stuff.
probably is fun to play, yeah.
But in my brain, I feel like that they're super boring
Yeah.
because they're.
I think Akuma's fun.
Because-
but
oh,
I think
okay,
Ibuki
okay.
probably is fun.
But it's weird. It's weird that it's that way. That my brain works that way. You know what I mean? And so it's not even like I do feel like that. A lot of the low tier heroes are that way, right?
Yeah.
And a player like Cien had to finally break that.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was Gen, and he did it. He found the
He did
good
do it.
character
Yeah, right.
that wasn't popular.
Totally. A great
right?
example of this, yeah.
Right. And so he found it, and he was able to accomplish it. And then everyone's like, Gen is broken, you know, afterwards, of course. But the interesting part about it is I really honestly think that's where a lot of the low-tier heroes come from.
Yeah, totally. Totally
right?
agree.
That, and then also, or, like you, I just love this character,
Yeah.
and I refuse to not use this
Yeah.
character.
Like, if Q had been good in Third Strike, I would have used Q because he's
Right.
the coolest. And, like, Doomsnake would play Vega in ST, right? Because he just loves Vega. Mm-hmm. It's not that Vega sucks that he plays Vega for, it's that he likes Vega.
Exactly. And, you know, I asked, because like, the reason why we brought it up, because I was talking to him, right? He was like, yeah, I've actually picked up G as a secondary character. And I was like, so you're playing G all the time?
Right.
And he's like, no, there's a lot of matchups that I feel better with Vega. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then that's what I was like, but, you know, like, he was joking about it. He's like, I know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, you know, David's always talking about that. Like, there's just sometimes when a character connects with you, though. There is just sometimes when that happens. And, you know, FAB is just going to be playing Potemkin for his whole life in Exerd, even if...
That's fine, but I mean, he gives up... Well, I don't know what money there is in gear, but
Right,
we'll
yeah.
see if in the new Guilty Gear there's going to be like a pro tour. Maybe?
Right,
I hope
yeah,
so.
exactly.
So in that instance, I hope that his character's viable. Probably not, I guess. It seems like they don't want to do that. And that sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks for him that he does that to himself. I mean, he can't control whether Potemkin's good or not, right? I think it sucks that the developers do that, but
Yeah.
he can't control that. So what he can control is whether he makes money or not. I mean,
Right.
I understand that it's fun, but once it becomes you have the chance to win a car or a house or just something that is actually life-changing.
Wedding, you know?
I think it's very
Changing the
difficult
course
to
of
justify.
your island completely.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I mean, literally.
Yeah, man. I think that's
Yeah.
my perspective. So I wouldn't
So-
do it again.
The way that I
But
feel...
I do like playing weirdos. I mean, it's true.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I like playing weird characters. And weird characters are often not the top tier.
Right.
So I'm still often not playing the top tier. Sometimes I'm definitely playing top tier. For sure. I think that Tager Wald has been great the entire time.
Right,
for
yeah,
example,
yeah, exactly.
And that's like a perfect instance of the characters that fit me well are also top tier. I played Hilda in Under Night. There's characters that fit me really well and that are good, but typically
Yeah.
the weirdos are not the best.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they're not trying to compete for actual money and stuff like that, I say let the low tier heroes rock. I love it.
Dude, if there's no
Right.
money on the line, of course, yeah.
Or even if there is money on the line, but that's not what you're concerned about. You just want to play and have fun.
You can't not be, if you have a chance to win 100K, you can't not be concerned about it. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible to not be concerned about
what
that.
if you're like one of those players who's like under gatekeeper status? Like that's how good you are.
Okay.
And you're like, even if I switch to a main character, I probably won't win anyway.
Is that true? You've only played a bad
Yeah, I
character.
know, right?
What
That's
if,
the hard
what
part,
if you play
yeah,
a bad character for 5 years and then you're like, let me try out a top tier for 1 month and you get top 8 at Family Fun that month?
Right.
What if it turns out you could have just done it the whole
What's
time?
the reason that you played Dan in Street Fighter 4? Was that low tier heroing, or was that just because
it was more than that?
just trolling?
No, it was not that either. It was that I knew that my hands were falling apart, and that I couldn't take it seriously. And so I played the character that
made you be okay with losing.
I wasn't taking it seriously.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it was.
Gotcha.
At the same time, I think Dan was underrated, but
yeah.
clearly not.
He was
great.
like never the worst character.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Ooh, it's the other cat. Hi, cat. Yeah.
Hey, bud.
How you doing?
Meow.
All right. Anything else to say about this one?
Nope. I think that's good. I think we're good.
Hey, buddy. Anything else to talk about?
We had some game news, I think it was, right?
I think we did that.
Did we do all the game news already? Let's see. BB Tag 2.
No, that's
the
last
previous
week.
one. Yeah, you're right. There is no game news.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, no,
yeah.
wait. Guilty Gear trailer. We forgot to talk about
We didn't
that.
talk about that?
We forgot to talk about that at CEOtaku.
Wow, okay, that was our plan.
Yeah.
It's definitely our plan to do that.
Forget to talk about that.
That was supposed to be like topic number 2.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, well, our bad.
Axel has pants. He
Yeah.
doesn't have jorts anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's so happy
That's so
about
stupid
that.
of us.
Everybody's so happy about that. And
That he has pants, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this right now. Oh, yeah, by the way, that was messed up to Angie
Dude,
Blaze.
I agree. I don't even know the game, and I saw the butterfly, and I was like, it's Anji for
yeah,
sure.
that was kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But I feel like that might mean Anji's back in, because like otherwise Daisuke is just a jerk.
Yeah,
right?
I think that
He's
must
the
be a
nicest
teaser.
guy.
That's a
He's
teaser,
the nicest
for sure.
guy.
I agree
right?
that's a teaser, yeah.
But I will say this, as much as I love Guilty Gear, as much as I love a lot of the characters, I've always thought Mei was kind of annoying.
Okay.
This is the first time I actually think she's like precious. Like
precious.
She looks so like she's like dancing around in her intro and stuff, and like it's like the first time like I'm just like, oh god, like I don't know, she has a lot of appeal this time.
Okay.
Her character, her personalities, she has these great facial expressions whenever
does.
she's doing anything. It's just she's actually really cool now.
Yeah,
I'm like
I think
really
she looks great.
I'm really happy with how she's turning out in the game. So
A little older feeling.
maybe that might even be a part of it.
Yeah. Not as off-putting.
Yeah, I just the whole like little girl
Yeah, I didn't like it
fighting
at all.
things is like weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think
it's
she
cool.
looks great. I agree.
Yeah, but goddamn, that game looks beautiful.
Oh, it just, in general, everything looks
yeah,
great.
and the other thing too is like I was so used to Exerd that I didn't think there was any interpolating on the frames, and even though there was clearly in the trailer, and someone had to point this out to me,
Okay.
because I was like, oh, they should start using these techniques because you can't interpolate because they're positioning everything manually, right?
Okay, yeah.
But like when you see Mei do the counter hit punch. And you see Kai go boom, they actually go ooh, and you can see her moving ever so slightly.
Oh,
and I
okay.
was like, whoa, how are they doing that? Like now they've come up with even more
Interesting.
techniques that they
Interesting.
didn't know before, and it's so crazy.
Super
dude.
cool.
It's the game.
Yeah,
Then
looks
there was
great.
the other transition where before we always see them getting hit from the sky and falling down. This time it was getting hit straight, and she was chasing after them. It just looks. Oh god, the game looks so beautiful.
It does. It
It
definitely
looks
does.
so beautiful. Oh my god. So,
Oh, yes. Very pretty looking game.
yeah.
They put the lyrics up for the song.
That is bullshit, Blaze. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, that's so funny. Oh god, the netcode. Oh,
Yeah, let's. Can you let us live in this life where we're thinking the game's gonna be great and not get to the bad parts? Come on, let us just have fun thinking the game's gorgeous, right?
roll
Come
back,
on.
netcode, roll back. I mean, rollback even sounds like the name of like one of the songs that he could be singing in Guilty Gear, like roll back,
Ooh, boy.
back to the battle again. I don't know, whatever.
Anyway, Axel looks cool.
Yeah, Axel looks cool.
He stepped out of the little time travel thing.
He can teleport like the Terminator.
Mm-hmm,
People are saying that he should just be Portal now, and he should be able to like put up a portal and throw his chain
Okay.
into it and stick it out through another. That'd be
Alright.
messed up. Yeah,
He's Quan Chi.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think Axel looks cool, and he's, you had to expect him coming back. I think.
Yeah, he's one of those ones
been there
that's
forever.
Been there forever. Yeah, exactly. Other thing, did you want to talk about the law degree thing a little bit more?
Oh, the esports degree.
Yeah. The esports degree. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. So I just read an article. Oh, he's really headbutting me. I read an article on the way here as I was driving. You know how you can do text to voice? I have a little app so I'm like often just listening to our news articles as I'm driving
that's
around.
cool. Okay.
So that's what I was doing. And okay, so there are esports management degrees hanging out there. And this article on, I think, CBS was about universities or colleges, I think actually it was both in both the UK and the US that are giving out esports management degrees. So you can get your degree in esports. What does that mean? What
I know. I'm trying to even figure out what that job
what does
is.
that say?
You know?
Like, what do you learn? So, very briefly in the article, they talk about some of the things, and it's like business management and marketing and stuff like that, all of which, of course, is used in esports. Mm-hmm. There was one guy who teaches a class on tournament organizing. Yeah, your face just fell. I know. On the break, I saw people. So I like put on Twitter that I was like, let me yell at this guy. I'd love to yell at him. And people actually added him, so he's in the conversation. So I'll talk with him. We'll see what that's about. But I think that's pretty messed up to be involved in something like that. I would definitely not want to do that.
No.
I would be happy to be involved in, if your degree is in business or marketing or entertainment or video games or whatever. There's any number of things. And you have an esports class, if you have an esports class on that within a larger degree,
right?
That makes total sense, right? I certainly understand that. A degree about this? There's just there's not that much to know. It's brand new. B, there's nothing in it for you. Like, you are not making money in esports. Maybe in 20 years, maybe in 10. But right now, unless you're one of a tiny handful of people, you're not getting in. And those people are people who are our age and younger, right? Nobody's 60. Like, there's nobody who's about to retire who's doing it. Everybody's, like, our age and younger. We're all going to be doing it for the next 20 or 30 years.
Right.
All the people we're not getting out. Are you serious? So what new positions are there going to be for kids to take advantage of? It's completely nonsense from all of these angles. I feel very bad for the kids who get taken into this. Because if you're a kid and you like to play games, I get, you think esports is sick. I totally understand that. And so you think, here's a management degree about it? Great, I'll get myself into the industry.
Really quick, I mean, this is one of the things I was talking about to a lot of the people in the Dominican Republic, that in the U.S. it seems big, but it's really not, and there's part of the bubble.
Exactly,
but
exactly. It's absolutely part of the bubble. I super agree with you. And I think that I really think that it's, like, unethical to be involved with, to have a degree in that stuff.
Now, here's the interesting thing.
Good use of the word.
I read an article as well that was saying that colleges these days that have esports programs or things that let people compete and all that stuff like that they're seeing rises in, like, GPA and class attendance and whatever, and morality and stuff like that.
That makes sense. Morality.
So you know that's all it is they're just trying to suck these people in by going, hey, look, video games, you know what I mean?
To have an esports team, I think, is one thing. And to have scholarships based around that, I'm cool with that. I mean, to the extent that you need anything like a sports team, whatever. I mean, to the extent that that's part of our lives, then sure, have esports be part of that. I think that makes sense. But to have a program, a degree that's in something that only marginally even exists,
I just think it's
not a good idea.
I just think it's the next step of their...
Yeah, I can see that.
Of their, we don't understand esports.
Right, okay, yeah. So that's, I mean, that's why I read this thing about a guy who teaches how to organize tournaments. Like, I mean, I'm not sure whether I hope that he's involved or not. Like, on the one side, I hope that he's involved in tournament organizing because that hopefully he's actually teaching the kids something. And on the other side, I hope that he's not, because I don't want somebody who is involved in this to be unethical enough to be part of this program.
Dude, the crazy thing is, if Curly W doesn't come into the chat and goes like, oh, I'm the professor.
Okay.
Like, if he doesn't say that, then I just don't know if there's any legitimacy to that, right? Like, that's how I feel. Like, I don't know if Curly W is in the chat right now, but literally, if it's not him, who do you even have the ability to teach this class? I don't trust you unless you're Curly W or something, or someone of that nature. So I don't know. That's how I feel.
I hear you. He's a great one. There's so many good things that could actually help you in the future. If in the future, I mean, look, I expect esports to be big. Right now, I think it's a bubble.
Right.
In the future, I definitely expect it to be big for real.
Right.
Maybe not immediately, but at some point. So that's great. But boy, if you're in school in order to learn to be part of an industry, then you better make sure that industry is real.
Yeah.
If you're in school in order to learn like about life or philosophy, I think that's super legit. I did that. I took political philosophy because that's what I was interested in.
Right.
That's one thing. I'm like reading Plato for fun. Yeah. No, totally. No, I did. But if you are in to be like part of an industry, it better be real.
Yeah.
It's so silly to have it not.
It's exactly what I said. I don't remember if it was here on the show or somewhere else, but someone asked me, like, how do I get into the FGC? And I gave the example. I was like, take what you're good at now, find a way to apply it to the FGC. You're better off taking what you know how to do and applying it to esports right now than trying to be some esports professional. You know what I mean? If you want to get into esports, take business classes, take philosophy classes, take psychology or whatever, and take that general knowledge, like you said, and apply it to the esports.
Yeah. Maybe just learn how to think. Take philosophy. It's really useful. Yeah. It's not true that it's not useful, by the way. I'll have you all know. I think it's super useful. I get emails all the time from people who want to go into esports law. I'm constantly getting applications from people who are like, I'm about to graduate. I'd love to work at your firm. And, no, I mean, I get it. It's, they're people who are coming out of school and they love esports and they want to be involved. I totally understand. But
I'm just picturing people working in your firm, like hanging out in your house.
In my house,
with the cats. That's all. Sorry.
Let's make me coffee in my own apartment.
Right.
The thing is that what I tell them is that there's not an industry yet. There are certain things that are approaching it, and there's like it's like a proto industry where there are people who have these jobs. There are 5 esports lawyers. I don't know. It's less than 10 for sure. Yeah. There are a few people who do esports marketing. There are a few people who do esports league ops. Like it exists,
right?
And it's like just enough for it not to really be a job, but for people to see it as a profession. Somebody's doing it and think, okay, I want to do this. Like it's just in that weird margin where it's no good at all. It gives people hope and also doesn't have hope to give them at the same time.
That's how I feel sometimes when people are like, I want to be a commentator like you, and I'm like,
totally.
Oh man.
Yeah. Like I get it.
Right?
I understand.
Absolutely.
And and hopefully at some point that will be an option for more people, but it's just not right now.
Right. Oh God. Yeah, I'm squeaking by.
Not a scam. You just spelled scam with a K.
Now, find a new rival.
What a place.
Is that why he's PAKO? Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I don't think so. I actually don't know the origin of Paco Stevens. I don't know what the
I feel like PAKO is because it's supposed. Oh, but that's not even his name. It's not his name. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyways.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Esports degree.
Yeah, like I said, to me it just feels like the next stage of the what are the cool kids doing, you know what I mean? It's weird because like everybody in esports is trying to be like the cool kids who are not in esports, and all the people who are not in esports are trying to be like the cool kids in esports.
So it is.
It's just so weird.
Why
does it all suck so much like that, dude? Like, why does it have to? Again, I'm just gonna say it again, but it's why I love what Tenno and SRK do. Not SRK, but Evo, because they're always getting people from within the community and stuff like that. You know, stick with the people that works, dude.
What's your iBond name? What does that mean? What's iBond?
It's an iBond name.
Anyway, yeah, there's not a lot of work for esports law.
Sounds like an electronic glue.
You know what the thing is too is that there's really just one firm that only does esports. There's literally one firm, and they have maybe 4 people who work.
Oh yeah.
And the other people, so me, I do some esports law. I have some of the broadcasters, some of the tournament organizers, some of the players. Okay, teams in the past. But dude, it's not a big chunk of my money.
Right, yeah, exactly.
A lot of it is like a player who isn't going to make any money on the contract. Like they're going to make, maybe $1,000 a month, maybe $2,000 a month, which is great, but it's not. Don't give a lot of that to a lawyer, right? So I just look at the contract for them. So a lot of it is just free work anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because I had
there's really not that much.
I had some people,
it's all game dev for me.
coming up to me, in DR, and they're like, I want to be a commentator like you, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And I'm like sitting there talking to him, and I'm like, dude, like I'm losing money every year and everything. And it feels like it's just like crushing their dreams because I think they probably see us and they're just like, oh, these guys just must be like taking first class everywhere they go and da 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 da, you know, and stuff like that. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. It's just not the way it works. It's not how it works.
I don't even know what it means to go in the 90s. I don't know what that part of that sentence means either.
Yeah, anyways.
All right,
Chicago, they would let you go in the 90s on I-bonds to show up in court later.
Yeah, what does in the 90s mean there? Does he mean in the 1990s?
I would assume so.
What does it mean to let somebody go in the 90s? Do you mean like you got by the cops and then they let you go on I-bonds? Is that what the sentence means? Well, you're telling me too much about yourself on this stream, buddy. There's too many implications to be made.
The 90s. Back when Nirvana was there, so... When people ask what it's like to be a commentator, you have to say Big L for me.
So, Big L for me.
That is 100% how I'm going to describe being a commentator from now on.
Totally.
Big L for me, dude. Big L for me.
I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean... I've had people criticize me before
rewarding.
because I talk about how hard it is financially, but then I talk about how I love fighting games.
Yeah.
And people are like, that doesn't make any sense, James. You're always complaining about... Dude, I just came back from the Dominican Republic. I just came back from Germany. I've been to Spain. I might even be able to go back to Spain.
Sounds great.
Know?
Hopefully you'll be able to afford food next month.
Right, yeah, exactly. But, you know, I'm doing a lot of great things.
Yeah,
and there's
I hear you.
I love it and I enjoy it. I'm doing it for a reason, but I really hope I can afford food next month.
Me too. I hope you can too.
I really do hope I can afford food next month. Oh,
right.
Man.
I agree with you, Shin Marku. That's why I'm doing it only as a side gig. Yeah. Absolutely right.
I should probably go back into programming.
I've been telling you, but it's up to you.
Just don't. Oh,
up to you. So, Big L for you.
Big L for me.
All right. Y'all done
it's
here?
It's too good. Yeah. It's too good, and also at the same time, absolutely depressing.
Haitani had a baby, huh? Nice.
Oh,
Congrats to Haitani.
I did see that. Yes.
Nanai got married. Oh, dang. And Eita. Oh, I heard about Eita, actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. Good job to all the FGC growing up, getting older. So.
It's not bad.
And
Sometimes it's painful.
Shouts out again to Momochi for doing this and not taking the money. Oh, God.